Welcome in to the Warlords 3 Grand Finals, Hera versus Viper. And we're starting out on migration. And Hera's gone for the Italians. I think that was clear. Viper's gone for the Dravidians after all. Okay, so he had Armenians available to him. He had Portuguese available to him, but he says, who needs those stinking civs when I have the best civ in the world here in the Dravidians? Viper loves the Dravidians. Find a man that loves you as much as Viper loves Dravidians, I think is the key takeaway here. So I think the Italians are simply the best civ on this map. Their ability to play water or land, they're one of the best water civs in the game, but they also have quite a lot of options on land. The cheaper age ups can allow them to hit some pretty sick timings, whatever your game plan is, whether you're just trying to get up to feudal super fast and go water, you know, trying to hit a good imp timing if you're in a Treb war situation in the middle, whatever it happens to be. Italians just feel very, very smooth. The cheaper fishing ships and everything helps too, so the Italians feel very good here for Hera if he just wants to play this super meta like you would on the ladder. Viper going the Dravidians. Now the Dravidians are a good civ here. I don't want to make fun of him too much for his appreciation of the Dravidians. Their fishing ships are more efficient, pun intended. They hold double the food of any other fishing ship. So you see here, they can store 30 food before they have to return to the dock, which doesn't matter a ton right now, but once you get through the first one or two deep fish around your docks, it actually makes a big difference out here as they're trying to gather from these further away fish. They also get the extra 200 wood when they age up, which means whether you're trying for a fast feudal into navy, you know, you can produce it, you know, it's an extra dock for free basically, and then some. If you're just trying to go FC, it can be an extra town center, mostly for free, whatever. So it makes your builds a lot more flexible with the Dravidians. Hera's on the way up to feudal age. It's a 20 vil up, so it's not the fastest feudal age in the world, but it is a bit faster from Viper, who goes up now on 21 villagers. Both are going up without loom. And actually, Hera hasn't gone out to gold yet, which is interesting. So maybe he's not thinking about a ton of... Okay, he is going out now. Is this timing going to work, though, if he's trying to go for 2 or 3 dock production? Maybe it will. He knows better than I do, I'm sure. He's getting that second dock up, so he is thinking navy. Viper also adding it in the second dock. Viper is also going out to gold with a couple vils now. Alright, feudal age comes in for Hera. And it's going to be galleys. Double dock galleys. Okay. Sniping down the Dravidian fishing ships is rather important, right? They get a lot of value from these, so if you're able to snipe them down, it's pretty good. But I should mention, as I said, this migration is a little bit different to some other tournaments we've seen recently. And the big difference is the shape of this island. Usually it's just kind of a blob in the middle, but this specific shape of this island is predefined largely. There's variants, but it always is kind of in this H shape. So one thing that does is it means water is more important, right? More of this land, pretty much the entire middle land mass is rangeable by the water. So you can't just go full land in this version as much as some others. You really do have to compete somewhat with water. The other thing it does, though, is these wings that come out here really delay the galleys coming across. So it takes quite a while for your navy to reach the other side. Really have to take a long trip around the map. So, you know, some other migrations maybe just have to go around like this, and maybe that's where the island ends. But it's a big time commitment to go across like this. So, even more difficult to actually, if your opponent, you know, if neither of these players are going FC, but if they were, it's pretty much impossible to prevent that from happening. Just because it takes you so long to get across. Alright, fletching coming in for Viper. It is 3 docks back here for Hera, though he hasn't really been able to produce out of all 3. 3 docks for Viper. His production also is not extending to that third that much. Alright, galleys arrive from Hera, and he's going to find 2 fishing ships to snipe down immediately. Maybe just 1 if Viper shows up with his galleys. Hera does not have fletching yet, so it makes this an awkward engagement for Hera. He does have the blacksmith, so I'm not sure why he hasn't gotten fletching. Maybe he's actually trying to rush up Castle Age. Could that be? Feels like he would have gotten fletching already if he was not trying to... Okay, he's getting fletching now, so I guess he was just doing other things. I'm overanalyzing, it's fine. Good production for both. Hera is housed here, which is unlike Hera. That's going to hurt his production a little bit. Also ramps up his idle TC time a bit. Fletching is now in for Hera. Taking some damage on his scout. And Castle Age on the way for Viper. Okay, so I said you can hit good age timings with the Italians, but it's actually Viper up about 25 seconds faster than Hera. Okay. Okay. Only 1 fishing ship went down. Viper kept most of his alive, which is good. But Hera has kept all of his alive, right? Guess Hera has invested less into the fishing ships, though. And Viper's going to get a big clear up here. He just has more navy. So as long as he doesn't make any big mistakes in this micro, he should be able to clear this up. Transport ship on the way for both. Viper's already loading his up, actually. And we'll see what the plan is in the middle. You can go TCs and try to get your eco sorted. You can go monastery early, get the relics. Siege Workshop can sometimes be more beneficial to keeping the middle island secure from your opponent. So we'll see. Eric's up first for Viper. It looks like he doesn't have enough wood for anything after this stable, but don't worry, he's about to have 200 extra, so he can just go for another TC after the stable if he wants to. Viper has found Hera, knows where Hera is, and I think Hera just wants a TC here. Viper gets the TC down. There it is. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a Siege Workshop added in pretty quickly here for Viper in the middle. And try to push this off early. Viper also harassing this wood line for Hera is kind of annoying. Hera didn't have Loom until just now. War Galley comes in for both. Bodkin comes in for both. So this university might be denied, actually. It's going to be awkward for Hera to get this university up with these galleys here. Big fight on the other side. This is a fight Hera doesn't want to take for another 10 seconds until his upgrade comes in. Viper's getting scouts out on the field. Gonna see the town center. And we'll see what the game plan is here. Hera does have a numbers advantage over on the right-hand side. Viper leaves on the left-hand side so that university can go up. Interesting. There's a Siege Workshop. It's going to be a monastery for Hera to start out with. Viper does have 3 of the relics behind him. Though relic control doesn't usually decide this game, I will say. It's usually just like a fast... Whoever wins the first fight in Imperial Age usually wins this match. Ballistics coming in for Viper. That's going to make his fights on the water quite a bit better, but I don't know. Do you want to go long into an elongated water fight with the Italians? I guess the Dravidians are fine. Mangonel's coming out. So Hera's either going to need to spring for redemption or make something else in the middle here, because just monks is not going to get it done. And he can't even really go redemption monks, right? Because Viper already has scouts out here. So this might get pretty awkward for Hera. Okay, one scout does go down. Demo on the way for Viper. Looking for a big shot here versus the galley mass from Hera. Big demo here would actually be really nice. Oh, it's going to be a beautiful demo. Nice. Lots of damage done. Lots of damage into that mass. That's what Viper was hoping for. No deaths, but the deaths will come. Don't worry. Second TC back here for Hera, but his first one's already getting mangoed down. Going to try and come out here with Vils and fight the Mangonel, which shouldn't work unless Viper is really not paying attention. Great attack ground there from Viper. It's going to get a Siege Workshop up now, or try to, but I don't even know if this... He's going to have to rush this down with a bunch of villagers. Okay, Viper does lose his scouts, and actually this, I don't know where this Mangonel was going. It's really not where it wants to be. He does snipe a villager there. So things are awkward here for Hera. Oh, Viper, you can't lose these Mangonels like this. Nice attack ground, so he does lose a Mangonel. Can probably snipe these two villagers. Okay, gets one. Hera trying to wall S-Mango out, and Viper actually kills his own Mangonel there. Does kill another villager. And there are still Mangonels on the field for Viper, so that wasn't the best fight for Viper, but he's still okay. The Navy fight continues. Hera's got the surround in, but that also means his Navy is split up, so he's not taking a great fight over here on the bottom side while his Navy tries to collapse from the top. He has sniped most of Viper's fishing eco, which is nice. Okay, Hera's going to go for a Mangonel in defense now. See if Viper's paying attention. Okay. Avoids that shot a little bit. Hera has the 3 town centers, but he hasn't been able to produce out of them, right? He's put so much res into TCs and mangoes and all that kind of stuff. He's taken some good shots here, though. Viper's going to need a repair villager forward as he goes for another town center behind. Viper is also kind of winning water, or at least he's doing pretty good. I think with this fire ship in here, it's going to feel a lot better for Viper if Hera's not paying attention, which he seems to be looking elsewhere. That fight's going to go pretty good for him. I guess this is where Hera's looking. He goes 1 for 1 with the Mangonels there. And he's going to get another one for free off of Viper. That's rough. That's actually really rough. Viper is looking at a 10 villager lead right now. And Hera's a master at defending, though this is not ideal for Hera. He's trying to get farms up over here, but it's right on the water. So if Hera is pushed back on water, which is what's happening right now, he's not going to be able to maintain control over this position at all. Viper will happily just snipe down farms here. If Viper takes another big fight on water, he could even take this TC out. All right. Hera's collecting his relics. He's bringing a monk over maybe to try and scare off this navy. But another farm's going to go down for Hera. Viper deletes that spearman so it's not converted. Another villager down on this wood line. Viper is forcing Hera to look in a lot of different places, but that's a great attack ground from Hera to snipe that mangonel. Viper is just not taking great fights with the mangoes overall. Viper is back here with a fire ship, so we could actually start sniping these fishing ships for Hera. Hera's also housed again. Okay. Wheelbarrow on the way. A little bit rough to go for the wheelbarrow on the mainland instead of back here, because Hera's going to run out of stuff to do with these villagers eventually. Viper's still taking pretty good fights here just because of those fire ships out in front of his navy. He's got the fire ships here as well, and he's going to be able to snipe down these fishing ships real fast. Nice. That's beautiful for Viper. It's a lot of food down at the bottom of the ocean rather than going into Hera's coffers. That's like 100 food swing right there. Another nice attack from Hera. Takes out another mangonel from Viper, and he's just doing so good in these engagements. The Hera defense is insane. Okay, Viper is quite heavy on the stone, so he's actually going to go for a forward castle here. Definitely got to be careful with Hera still having mangonels around. But if he can push back this mango far enough with his 2, should be okay. Another villager goes down on that farm. Eco KD is squarely in Viper's favor. Eco lead is squarely in Viper's favor as well, and he gets a nice attack there on the mangonel, so I don't think Hera's going to be able to deny this castle. Ooh, a scout for Hera. Ooh, that's actually big. Could maybe clear up both of these. Ooh, that was a nice attack round from Viper, though. Hera's going to go back and get healed before he tries to take this fight again. Imperial Age on the way for Hera. Imperial Age on the way for Viper. They click up at exactly the same moment. Actually, Viper might be a second faster. Hera's going to try and repair his town center through this. Hera also has enough stone for a castle, but he's abandoning this position, so I'm not sure where he's going to put the castle. I guess back here. Chicken castle? Be a man and go forward with it. That's what we want to see. We want to see castles right up against each other. Well, Hera loses this town center. He's also going to lose this monastery, so that relic he has in there is not going to last. And here we go. Whippy boys, Arumis. They're on the hunt. They're going to take out this mangonel, maybe. There is a monk here to convert. Hera's got to repair. Hera's trying to go for the castle right there. Okay. Hera's spending a lot of res repairing this mango, but he will keep it alive. Gonna try and save the monk now. $88 villagers for Hera. It's 104 for Viper. So I'll say again, I think the Italians have much better options in Imperial Age than the Dravidians do. At least while there's still gold on the map. If this goes into a trash war, then Viper's going to be feeling pretty good, but... Castle forward, okay, and Viper's transporting a singular elephant archer onto Hera's mainland. And this singular unit is going to feel impossible for Hera to fight. Oh, geez, this one elephant archer. How do you ever fight this elephant archer if you're Hera? Oh, no, he's going to have to get a monastery up. He's going to have to go for a monastery. Here comes 2 more elephants. It is the March of the Elephants here. Okay, this elephant really does not want to go onto the mainland. He's actually on an island here, it looks like. That's kind of gross. Monk on the way out for Hera, but he's losing villagers. That's so annoying. That's very annoying. Elite Skirm, Conscription, Fast Fire Ship, Chemistry for Viper as the Treb Wars begin on the mainland. More villagers going down here, though. That's now 3 or 4 villagers that Hera's lost to these elephants. He's got a monk out now. But the monk is not monking. Okay, there we go. Now he is. Viper's going to try and dive. And, oh, that was a really fast conversion. Viper even has devotion. How did Hera get that conversion? That seemed insanely quick. Alright, still being a nuisance here, though. Hoardings is going to come in just before the castle goes down. But bombard cannon's on the way for Viper behind this. He's got a couple of trebs. He does still have this castle as well. Skirmishers are not going to go forward for the landing, as the elephants were cleaned up. Bracer coming in. Another TC back here for Hera. Trebs are moving forward, so Viper's going to need something here to deal with this. And just Siege is not going to do it, as Hera is mixing in a couple knights to his army. And Hera just drops a castle. He says, I don't want to have to deal with this. Jesus, I'm done with this. Skirms. I mean, Dravidian skirms, right? We talked about it last time. Dravidian skirms fire faster, so they actually do quite a bit of damage with their upgrades in. Oh my god, if Hera had sunk that transport ship, he actually could have. He could have sunk that transport ship before the bombard cannons arrived. That would have been such a big deal. He didn't quite do it, though. Alright, Hera's going to rush this down, but the Elephant Archer isn't going to survive the skirms, and the villagers are going to be taking quite a bit of damage from them as well. Bombard cannon's getting good snipes in on the Navy. Hera's going for the walls, and I think he's going to clear up this landing decently, though he's losing more villagers back here. That was a great bombard cannon shot. Unfortunately, Viper's kind of dying on the mainland. It's a full skirmisher defense. Hera doesn't have any armor on these knights, though, so the Dravidian skirms actually doing a lot of damage there. Hold on. Dravidian skirms OP. I've said this a lot in the last couple of days. They're even taking out the trebs. Dravidian skirms, they can't be stopped. The converted Arumi gets gunned down. These crossbows definitely aren't going to want to stick around here. Another treb goes down. This treb will also go down to the bombard cannon unless it gets the shot of its life. No. So all three trebs go down for Hera. Suddenly, what does he have to deal with these skirms? He's got bombard cannons. But do you even care if you're taking big shots? They're just skirms, right? More fast fires for Viper. He's kind of killing Hera on the water. If only Sauron had Dravidian skirmishers, everything would have been different. It's true. Yeah, it is true. That's the next, like, what if series. What if, but it's just all Dravidian skirmishers. What if different historical armies had Dravidian skirms? Well, there's cannon galleons out here for Viper. I think Hera's cooked. Hera just does not look great on these water maps, right? We said it last time against Tato. It just doesn't look like he knows how to play them as surely as the other maps. I'm sure he's practiced them a ton, but he doesn't have that innate sense for them like he does like in Arabia or something like that. And I think Viper's in a really good position. Now, that can change pretty quickly depending on how these bombard cannon wars go. Gotta be real careful. But if Viper can maintain water control, which is looking pretty decent for him right now, though he does have to be careful. Hera has quite a few fast fire ships ready over here. 140 vills for Viper, though. 120 for Hera. He loses that castle on his home island, which means more skirmishers can come over. Honestly, not a bad idea. Just send like 5 to 10 skirms over and suddenly Hera's in trouble, and that's exactly what's happening, I think. The transport ship is waiting here. I think these 5 skirmishers want to go over. Gotta be, but this is bad. Oh, this is really bad. The elite cannon galleons go right through the fast fires. Hera's not looking, but now he is. And Viper loses a lot of navy for free there. Now, Herod probably doesn't want to take this fight underneath the castle if he can help it. But I guess he is. Bombard wars don't go great for Viper. He actually loses all of them in here. So Viper kind of trying to split his attention between two different fights, and he takes his eyes off both of them. It's a little awkward, but here they come. More Dravidian skirms. They've got their machine gun arms loaded up, and Hera's going to lose more villagers here. Look at how fast. There's only 5 skirms here. Look at how fast these villagers die. That's kind of crazy. It makes me want to play Dravidians. Hera has to drop 2 stables on his home island to deal with this. Ugh. He's also got some, what are these things called? Condotieros, but they kind of die to the skirms. And it's a forward castle from Viper. Does this go up? Hera's getting... He's not getting anything out on the field. Ooh, I think that goes up. Hera just doesn't have the army on his island to deal with this. Also, it's now Elephant Archer. Elite Elephant Archer for Viper. Dravidians don't get Parthian. They don't get Bloodlines. Bloodlines is not the biggest upgrade in the world for these things, but Parthian is pretty important, so they aren't the best Elephant Archers in the world. Viper also isn't paying attention here, as Hera is trying to mass evacuate, but he's only got 1 transport ship, and he doesn't even have careening. So, it's not going to work out super fast for him. It's got to be said. He's going to lose so many villagers here. These Elephant Archers are just going to sit underneath this tower and absolutely destroy Hera's economy. Oh my god, this is so annoying. He's trying to transport away, but he can't do it fast enough. On the mainland, things are going better for him. I think, honestly, Viper needs to go more skirmishers. I still think skirmisher is the way here for Viper on the mainland. Shipwright coming in. More elite cannon galleons coming out. Oh god. Oh no, Hera's down to 109 villagers now, and that's going to only go down further as these towers will expel their occupants. Okay, Hera is still holding here, but what does he even have on this segment of the island? He's got 3,000 gold and a dream. This demo coming in. Oh, hold on. This demo, it's gonna go for the fires instead. I wanted it to take out that transport ship so bad. But Hera's gonna be down below 100 villagers. And how does he do this? How does he handle this? Viper has full control over the mainland. He's got all 5 relics, by the way. I don't know how he snagged the 2 relics that were over here, but he somehow managed to. I guess maybe Hera collected them for him, and then Viper just stole them from the monastery that was there. Yeah, Eco KD is pretty rough for Hera here. 78-4 right now is not usually a winning ratio. And once Hera runs out of gold, he's kind of just dead, right? He can't compete on water anymore, and Viper can just send cannon galleons out to destroy all this stuff at this point. And Dravidian trash is just better, right? Their skirms fire faster, their infantry get woot steel, so their halbs are really busted too. Hera's trying to go into good old reliable light cav. It's doing okay against the skirms, but it's not going to do great against the elephants. Sneaky trebs over here. I don't know where these trebs are going. This can't possibly be correct for Viper. As soon as Hera sees this, he can just move his cannons back over, right? Yeah, or the light cav. Okay, well, Viper's gonna potentially lose all of these trebs unless this castle can save the day. Maybe it will. One Trub goes down. It's a little awkward. It's definitely a little awkward. Another Trub's definitely going to go down, but I think Viper saves the last couple. Fights in the middle. These light cav are an issue for Viper. But Hera calls the GG. As the Navy rolls in for Viper behind, Hera knows he's out of space. And, I mean, he's got nothing left back here. It's a lot of eco. Viper can even steal his gold that remains, so... Okay, that's a good start for the snack. That's a really good start for the snack. And like I said, Hera just doesn't look super comfortable on these maps. He's still really good on them, but just that comfortability sometimes shines through. And Dravidians, Viper, I think, is undefeated with Dravidians in this tournament. So just throwing that out there. So welcome into game 2 here. Hera versus Viper in the Warlords Grand Finals. We're here on Alpine. And Viper is trying the Armenians again. He's trying them again. He tried them last time against Sebastian, and it didn't work out well for him at all. But he's trying them again. He likes them on this map, I guess. Hera's going to go for the Romans. Romans are pretty popular pick here. They have their... I mean, we talked about it before the set started, right? Their villagers work a little bit faster, so their eco feels strong. They drop off in Imperial Age, which this map never goes to, so... Viper's back here. He's going to lame this boar. A little bit annoying for Hera. Hera's trying to lame this boar from Viper. But Viper is also here with his horse, so Hera's got to be careful. His villager's taking a lot of hits. He's dead. Oh, he idles out the boar. He idles out that boar. Okay, so the villager will escape, but the boar does not go home to Hera. Okay. This boar is dead. Viper will look for another one, but he's going to have to come all the way out to here in order to do that. Viper still has 3 boars at the back of his base. He's actually taking geese right now. He doesn't have a boar in. Now Hera's going to try and block. He's too close to the TC, though, so Viper's going to get that one in. Hera's going to try a boar on this side, but Viper's horse is here again. Oh, no. The horse gets in front. Hera idles out the boar. Viper steals it. Now it's Hera's turn. Hera's got the horse now. So Viper's going to idle out that boar. He's going to take it again. Hera's going to try and come out here with a gate or something. Oh, he steals it. Now Viper with the gate. Viper idles out the boar. Now Viper has aggro. And Viper's going to take it. Ooh, that's actually big. That's 2 boars from Hera that were either stolen or killed by Viper. Viper still has one back here. He still has one up here. So that's a pretty good start for Viper. That's pretty good. We'll see. Also, this boar dying here is just very awkward, right? It's like all around all these trees. So even if Hera wants to come back here and take this, it's a little tough. He is going to do it. We'll see if all these villas can actually fit around this boar. It should be fine. Alright, so... good start for Viper. He stole a boar and also whatever extra damage you count this as. Hera will be able to take from the boar, but quite a bit rotted away, and it's a long distance to walk for these villas, right? That being said... Hera's up to the feudal age, another minute to go. Viper is about a minute behind him, just clicking up now. So the timing is going to be a little bit better for Hera. But the eco back here for Viper should be way better. He still has one more boar he can take too, so should be absolutely beautiful eco into feudal age for Viper. Why Armenians here? That is a really good question. That's a really good question. I still don't fully understand why Viper likes the Armenians so much here. I mean, the mule carts can be nice, right? Moving around this top ridge. Hera still being annoying with this horse. Okay, I can't do it. Armenians get the pikemen upgrade in the feudal age. I don't know if that's ever relevant. I mean, Armenians have a good castle age push, right? They've got a really good monastery. Their infantry is good. They've got all the siege that they need. I just don't know. They don't really have any bonuses before the castle age, right? I guess their eco upgrades give them additional benefit, so maybe that's relevant. I don't really know. But this is the second time Viper's picked them, so he definitely sees something in this Civ that should give him an advantage here. Build's a little bit off for Viper, it's gotta be said. He's just adding in his archery range now, and Hera's already got 2 skirmishers on the field. So maybe he was thinking about laming those boars a little bit too hard. But that being said, Hera's having to add in farms now, right? And Viper still has another 100 food on this boar. I was going to say he has 2 geese too, but Hera snipes one of those geese with his skirms. I guess you can also, with the meal cards, you can just come out here on the ibex and then just keep moving around. So that feels pretty good, maybe. Alright, it's going to be a stable added in for Hera. As Viper is mainly just making skirms here. He's getting fletching as well, is Viper. As he's now coming out here to the back for the ibex. If Hera can... This is often a deciding factor here, right? If you can surprise your opponent with the stable, I guess you're not surprising him because Viper's just sitting here next to the stable with his horse. But if you can get into scouts faster than your opponent and take a really good fight versus their skirms, sometimes that can just jettison you into a winning position. Hera coming back for his ibex. He's got to make a mill for these. So if he has to make a second mill for any more ibex, suddenly I guess that's a bonus for the Armenians that they didn't have to do that, right? Scout here from Hera. He takes a poke from the spearman though. Not a great start to that engagement for Hera. Viper getting some walls up around the sides here. Interesting. I kind of like the sweeping walls Viper has. It obviously doesn't prevent Hera from running in or around, but it can funnel military where you want it, depending on how it's set up. So kind of a nice little spirally wall around the TC here. Bills are starting to be harassed for Hera. Man, imagine if these were Dravidian skirms. Imagine if these were Dravidian skirms. Honestly, I hadn't thought of that. Dravidians are probably really good on this map, right? The better skirmishers probably makes a difference. Plus the extra 200 wood is probably not that bad either. Alright, Hera's found the back economy though for Viper, but I think Viper's army is in a pretty good position here. He's got quite a few spearmen, and his skirmishers also are outmassing Hera's. Quite heavily, actually. Hera's switched into mainly scout cav. He just can't resist. Hera cannot resist the scouts. They call him like a siren calls. And he is not strong enough to resist. But he's not finding any damage. Viper really good. Okay, there's a hole there. Viper really good, what do I want to say? Army control here, right? Sometimes it's easy to let the scouts get away from you, but this is really good too. Gets 2 pokes in, snipes that scout, gets 3 pokes in with that spearman. That's value. The skirms kill another scout. Viper now has to start microing as the skirmishers arrive for Hera. Hera getting wheelbarrow here. Okay. Pretty calm Alpine game, to be honest. It's much less aggro than I was expecting. Obviously, lots of military here, but both players playing it pretty safe, not wanting to take a bad engagement, right? So just kind of hanging back. Hera's up to the castle age. Viper is not too far behind. Also, still coming out here on the Ibex is nice. He's back here on the Ibex too, so the food should be absolutely flying in for Viper. But that Roman eco, despite missing out on a boar, Hera is 800 res collected ahead. Another stable in the back, and Knights could be a big problem. Knights could be a big problem. I wouldn't mind seeing once Castle Age is on the way if Viper researches Pikemen here. I think it would be pretty good. Right? That's a bonus that the Armenians can take advantage of, is getting Pikemen a little bit early. Viper's army is out of position for the first time, and Hera really wants this villager kill, but he does not get it. The spears arrive in time. Castle Age is clicked from Viper. He's going to be a solid minute and a half behind Hera, though. And we'll see what the plan is here from Hera. Hera sold his stone to get up as well, and Viper did not, so that's something worth noting. So we're not going to see any additional town centers here from Hera. Bloodlines, Forging, Horse Collar. Okay, neither of the... I mean, it's probably a pretty close fight in cavalry, actually. Neither the Romans nor the Armenians have great cavalry options. They're okay through, like, the mid-game, but they both peter off at the end, so probably not bad for either player to go into them here. Neither gets Hussar, neither gets Champion, right? I guess the Armenians don't get that last armor, which is maybe more important. But again, we hardly ever see Imp on this map, so maybe it doesn't matter at all. Ooh, this matters, though. Viper over-chopping himself from his little enclave here on both sides and does not notice. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 villagers go down on that wood line. Pikeman upgrade is in, so the Light Cav are going to have a tougher engagement here. Ooh, you really don't want to take that fight, Hera, sorry. Hera does not want to take that fight. Viper does. Castle Age in for Viper. He's getting Bodkin. Hera hasn't been able to afford anything. He's going Knights, but he can't afford, like, armor. He got Forging, and that's it. He's not getting any Skirm upgrades. He is finding more kills here, though. Viper trying to go for this town center. Now the pikemen arrive and are going to take a pretty good fight against the Light Cav, but I think Viper needs more. Pikeman getting some nice pokes in on those knights. Hera's going to try and micro the pikeman down with his skirms, and he does so. So both players are probably going to lose most, if not all, of their skirms here. Yeah. Hera's going to have a couple left over, but not much. Viper probably has to add in more, honestly. Just these couple of skirms could be problematic against the pikemen. Yeah, maybe the pikemen can clear it up, actually. Yeah, to go from the amazingness of Dravidian skirms onto these underwhelming, just boring Armenian skirms is quite the letdown. Mule carts going down. It's a sad, sad day here as these mule carts are left defenseless. TC will go up. Hera actually leaves before that last mule cart goes down. Okay, monks. Coming in for Viper. Viper also has some villagers back here that Hera might run into accidentally. And probably not. Eco KD. 0 and 6 for Viper. Oh, he jumps inside the fortified church there. So, Era's economy is looking pretty sweet here. He's on 2 town center now. He's got 46 vills. He's a solid... Well, in a minute, he's going to be 10 villagers ahead of Viper, who can't really keep these TCs working. These quick walls are nice for Viper, even protects the mule cart this time. He's going to get that town center up. But what do what's the like army composition for the Armenians here? Like, I know we talk about the Romans being lackluster, but Romans just kind of like hard counter the Armenians, don't they? Like, the only thing the Armenians have is a better monastery. Their infantry, which is their main selling point on land, is worse. Their siege, which is another big thing for the Armenians, is worse. So what's the composition here? Warrior priest? Maybe. Not if your opponent's going like light cav, though. Maybe composite bowmen. Maybe composite bowmen are actually a decent unit here, right? The Romans don't get bracer. So if this does go imp, the composite bowmen won't be at a range disadvantage, which is usually what kills them. Is that your win condition though? Going imp and then trying to mass up composite bowmen? Like, that's a huge... That's like way down the road for Viper. That's way down the road for Viper. But it just feels like the Romans are just plainly better until that point, right? That's the only thing I can think of that the Armenians actually feel better on. These monks are also not really getting it done for Viper with all of the light cav here, and Hera's going to castle drop Viper's face in the middle. Okay. If Hera AFKs for 15 minutes, Viper can still get there. Yeah, true. Hera just needs to step away from the computer for a while, and maybe Viper can get into a good composition. Well... Viper can maybe kill a villager or two here with the town center, but Hera pulls them away, so the castle will go up. Viper's going to have to abandon this area. His relics are also right there, which is kind of awkward. Monks don't get a conversion here. That felt like a pretty long conversion for not having devotion, but, you know, just monk things. And Viper has to call it GG, yeah. He was also... thinking real hard about how he can possibly get back into this game, and I think I just don't, like... I simply don't understand what Viper sees in the Armenians here. I just don't understand it. It feels like they're so bad. It feels like they're really, really bad. Welcome in. Game 3 here. Viper versus Hera. We're on Nomad. And Viper has chosen the Portuguese, and Hera has chosen the Persians. So, finally, finally, I can say that I predicted these civs. After a couple of games of scratching my head, I can say, okay, these civs make a lot of sense to me, actually. I guess game 1, the civs weren't that weird either. But... honestly, imagine, like... I know Dravidians did well for Viper, but what do we think about Armenians on Migration and then Dravidians on Alpine? Does that feel better? I don't know. I don't want to think about the past too much. But I don't know. If Viper loses this set, he might look back at that and wish he had flip-flopped the civs a little bit. Alright, but we're here on Nomad now. And these are definitely the two best civs these players had for this map. Persians, just always a great Nomad civ. They start with the extra wood, right? So it's just a little bit easier for them to get these fishing ships out faster. That bonus is not as good with the 9 vil start as it is on a 3 vil start. you can kind of recoup that wood pretty quickly as a different civ, right? So we see Viper's not... well, I guess he is still a fishing ship behind, so that's still a bonus. But Portuguese, they can kind of do it all here, right? They spend less gold on all of their units, so whether you're going navy to fight for water or land pressure, everything costs less gold. That's really nice for the Portuguese. They have every option available to them. Archers, upgrades straight all the way up. Knights, upgrade up to Imperial Age, at least. They have organ guns, they have good monks. Like, it all just feels really nice for the Portuguese. They can kind of do anything. Persians are pretty versatile as well. They really can't go monks. They have arguably the worst monks in the game, but otherwise they're feeling pretty good. So we'll see what the strategy is here. Let's take a little looky-loo at this map. Viper is pretty far away from gold. This is probably his best bet for gold, because this one is technically closer to Hera. But he does have very easy access to stone, so if he wants to, like, FC into a castle, he probably can do that pretty easily. Hera? He's not super close to any stone or gold, but, I mean, he's got somewhat safe piles back here, right? So it shouldn't be the end of the world for him. And his scouting is pretty decent. Viper's is good. He's going to find this gold, maybe? Oh, please find that gold, Viper. It's actually a big deal. Oh! He doesn't. I can't believe that. Literally every single tile around that gold, except for the one that he needs to see it. That could be important, honestly. If this is the only gold... Oh, that's Mother Nature. If this is the only gold Viper sees, it's going to be rough trying to take that. Okay, we'll see how that plays out. Feudal Age on the way for both. Hera's a little bit faster up, so probably just going to be navy fights for both. I think that makes a lot of sense. They're both pretty close with their docks, honestly. Docks on the same side of the map. Don't know if they know that that's the case. Viper definitely doesn't. Hera also doesn't. How does Hera not see any of this? That's crazy. Both players see a lot of the map, but they don't see what they need to see. They see a lot, but not what they need. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. That would have been nice for Hera if he knew where Viper was. Going to be double fire galley production for Hera. He's got one dock over here, and he's got two docks over here. I guess Viper does have another dock up here. Interesting. The, like, split up docks is not something I see a lot of. Neither player knows where the other's fish is. Hera knows literally, Hera can see nothing. I guess he knows Viper is here with his main base. But that's all that Hera knows. Viper... Oh my god. The scouting from Viper, man. You can see so much of the map, and he can't see anything that he needs to. Viper's over here on gold. Oh, interesting. That's pretty nice for him, honestly. Just those 3 vills that were over here by the dock. Hera might never go over there. He doesn't even see... I mean... Very, very unlucky scouting. That's all I'm going to say. Very unlucky scouting. Viper does happen to be going down this way with his navy from this dock. So he's actually going to run into Hera's dock down here, which is pretty nice. Hera's coming up here and he's like, the dock's here. Where's the fish? But it's actually Viper that finds the fish first. Okay. It's a little annoying for Hera. Hera's gonna have to come all the way around before he finds anything from Viper. Marketplace coming up for Viper. Making a pretty decent fight at the front, considering it's 2 docks versus 1. He hasn't killed any fishing ships, but he has scared them away. And this fishing ship is actually going to find the dock from Viper right as the fire galley is coming from the other side. Does this fishing ship die? It doesn't? Unless the fire galley blocks it? Oh, it does. Friendly fire. You blocked the wrong ship there, and that fishing ship goes down. Pays the price. Eric's gonna try to micro his way into saving this fishing ship, and he does. Nice. Viper going for the giga walls here. He says, this is the only gold I can see, so I've got to wall it in somehow. And he kind of has done it. I mean, he can't wall here is the issue, though, right? So if Hera comes around with anything, it's going to be really awkward for Viper. Unless Viper gets the biggest demo of his life. It's a really big demo. Ooh, that was a pretty big demo. 2 fire galleys go down. 3. There's a demo back here for Hera as well. Viper splitting up his navy pretty well, though. I don't think Hera's going to find a big boom here, though he could maybe get in here and snipe this villager. Okay, he just trades it 1 for 1. Overall, that was pretty good for Viper, I think. But Hera, he's got 7 fire galleys on the field. Viper is up to the castle age. He's only a minute and a half away now. Hera's angling his way up towards castle, but unless he hits the market and sells his stone, he's still quite a ways away. He has no food income right now, except for his fishing ships, so he's further away than he looks. He's trying to drop off. Oh. Okay, he gets there. So Hera goes up to the castle age as well. Okay, he had these villagers. Okay, that's how he was able to go up. But Viper's going to be there in 30 seconds, and he's going to have plenty of stone for a castle. And a castle like here is going to be pretty rough for Hera. How do the Persians deal with organ guns? I guess with siege? Is that their only option? You gotta go like mangonels or something? Honestly, Viper could also just delete a palisade here. Yes. Yes, Viper. This is the sort of castle I want to see. We're not playing games here with this castle. And Hera has no way to stop this castle from going up. Monastery behind for Viper. Viper does lose total water, although he still has these fishing ships alive somehow. Don't know how Hera hasn't killed that yet with all of the navy he has. Again, just like Hera with water, right? Just feels like he doesn't quite have the feel for it. Viper's actually back here with his fire galley, so he's going to start sniping down more fishing ships. That's very annoying for Hera, considering he has full water control, except for that one galley. Alright, Hera makes it to the castle age. The castle has gone up for Viper, and organ guns are going to start to come out. Hera just goes for another TC in the back here. This is a Persian TC, so it's going to take quite a while for the castle to kill it. But siege workshop for Hera. Again, it's his only real option versus the organ guns. Oh boy, organ guns are starting to pepper away at this wood line. And Hera could die here very quickly if he's not careful. He's got to run. He's got to run with everything. Viper's getting monks out on the field. He can now take this gold free and clear, which is nice. The fishing economy is finally dealt with from Viper, so that's a good snipe from Hera. Though Hera continues to lose his fish at the same time. Ooh boy. He does still have this fish safe, so that's nice at least. These villagers are being hunted down though, and Viper is pretty close to finding this sneaky TC for Hera. Don't know what this monk is doing. Viper. Please. I think that was a... what do you call it? think that was a shift click issue where he clicked it back to the monastery and then was going to send it out for this relic. But instead he like clicked here next to the relic, next to the monastery. So the monk would go right here and then turned around and went back with his relic. That's my guess. Organ Guns have found this town center, though, and Hera's losing a lot of vills. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 already down, and Hera's not even reacting to this. I don't know what Hera's looking at, actually. Okay, he's trying to micro versus the Organ Guns forward. Actually killed another monk there from Viper, so that's nice at least, but things are looking real tough. Things are looking real tough here for Hera. This is not an economy to be happy with at all. And the Organ Guns are over on this side now. That's another villager down. It's going to be another villager down. It's going to be another villager down. Organ Guns probably need to back up a little bit here. They outrange. Ooh, big shot from the Mangonel. Another villager does go down. So Eco KD is 16-5 in Viper's favor. But he's still below on the villagers, right? Persian TCs, and Hera has had 3 town centers. This town center has still been chucking out villagers. But, oh god, just the singular Organ Guns dotting around are so annoying for Hera to deal with. He's got to move his 1 or 2 Mangonels around to try and deal with this. If Viper can ever afford redemption, it's over. If he ever gets redemption, this game is absolutely over for Hera. Okay, a couple more vills are going to go down here. And Knights are on the field. Knights work too, honestly. Knights work too. That's a nice shot with the Mangonel, but the Knights are going to kill that Mango for free. How much does redemption cost? It's a lot. It's like 450 gold or something like that. So it's a very expensive tech. It is a very expensive tech, don't get me wrong. Honestly, 1 or 2 Knights is probably the much more cost-effective option. And this Knight's going to find another Mangonel kill, and that honestly, this could be a GG moment for Hera. It's going to be another castle forward for Viper. And that's a lot of villagers here for Hera. 30 villagers that he has to run with again. He's still being harassed on this side. He can't really make Mangonels anymore now that there are Knights on the field. He's going to try and get Wheelbarrow in before that TC goes down. Okay, Hera's going to rat it out. He's just going to simply add in more town centers. Because I can make TCs longer than you can make castles. Finally, Viper's going to get this relic. It's been forever. Wheelbarrow actually does come in as well. That's nice for Hera. This Mangonel is in danger, though. Kills an Organ Gun, but the Knight coming around. More villagers in danger at the front. More villagers going down to this Knight at the back. That was a really good attack round from that Mangonel, actually. I don't know how Hera avoided nuking his own Knight there. Viper has Organ Guns set up on this side, so if Hera tries to run away with his villagers, they have to go right by the Organ Guns. Okay, here we go. He's gonna try. Ugh. That one Organ Gun is weak, so maybe the villagers can actually kill it. Oh, Jesus. It's really rough, though. 3 vills go down. The Knights are also here. Hera's gonna pull back as soon as he snipes that Organ, but another villager goes down to the Knights. Eco KD is now 29-5. Oh, and Hera's trying to rush this tower down, but there's an Organ Gun over here, too. Oh! It's so tough. Just like one Organ Gun is so bad against these villagers. Hera might get this tower down, but he's going to lose so many villagers to do it. He actually has to pull back. He's still ratting it out. He is still trying to rat it out. He is still even on villagers, roughly, for the time being. But look at this. This is so gross. He's going for more town centers. He's just going to make town centers forever. He's not going to be able to make many more, though. His wood is depleting real fast, and these Knights are going to kill quite a few villagers before this town center goes up. So many of these villagers are weak from the organ guns. Oh, God. Oh, geez. Oh, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 villagers go down. 9 villagers go down trying to get that TC up. And Hera calls the GG. Rough. That's really rough. All right. Welcome in. Game 4 here. Hera versus Viper in the grand finals of Warlords. We're here on Spiral. And it is indeed the Berbers for Hera, and it is the Gujaras for Viper. Okay. Interesting Civ matchup. Interesting. Hera beat the Berbers with the Cumans during his Tato set. So now he's going to play as them instead. Viper... I don't think I've seen the Viper play the Gujaras yet in this tournament. But actually, I'm unsure who I prefer in this matchup, actually. It's an interesting Civ head-to-head here, actually. They both kind of do a lot of the same things, but in different ways, right? They both have good camels, but Gurjara camels are better, but Berbers are cheaper, right? I don't know. I'm honestly not positive what the unit compositions here are. I think camel archers feel pretty good against everything the Gujaras can make, though in low numbers they get countered by Shravamshas. But I think if you can get a decent mass of camel archers up, they feel pretty good against everything. Berber Eco is just really solid, right? They have the faster vills, which does lead to a bit of an eco bonus as the game goes on. It's kind of like a mini wheelbarrow upgrade. So Gurjara eco early on is good, right? Because they can, well, theoretically they can garrison their herdables, though I don't know if Hera's going to go for that or not. He is saving his herdables, so maybe he's just waiting to afford a mill. The dock here being more important. But the sheep become less and less impactful inside a mill as the game progresses, right? So if you don't get them in there immediately, it feels like you're missing out on the biggest power spike you get from them. Or biggest eco spike, I guess I would say. Hera's up to the feudal age. Viper's getting loom first, and then he'll be up. It's also a little awkward here even going for a mill, right? You have the little tiny berry patch near your TC, but then your next mill is ideally like up here, where you can take the deer and the berries, or like, I don't know. Okay, he's just gonna go for the mill back here, so he will get his sheep inside. And we'll see. We'll see what the composition is here. I do think until Hera gets into camel archers, Gujaras have a better tech tree, right? The Gujara camels are simply better than the Berbers. If the Berbers want to go knights, obviously the camels are going to feel better. Even like versus archers, the Gujara camels don't feel that bad. Just that attack speed upgrade they get really makes a big difference. So I'm curious what... I think it's probably just going to be scouts for both to start. So we'll see. Like I said, we've seen archers from the Gujaras occasionally, and I think even the Berbers have pretty decent archers. But it will be stable from Hera. Probably the same for Viper. We'll see if he wants to get cute with an archery range instead. But But it's the mid game I'm really interested about for Hera. What his composition is going to be in like early Castle Age. Okay, Viper is not adding in an actual production building. He got the barracks down. Interesting. Neither player is going forward to dock their opponent either. Hera walling up. He's got a pretty nice base to wall, to be honest. It's a little more awkward for Viper with the hill right there. And he's wide open at the front, right? So it's a little bit... I guess Hera technically was wide open too. He just committed a lot to these walls. It will be a stable for Viper as he continues to push in some deer. Spearmen are out on the field. Hera's trying to find some value, poking away. Poking away at the fishing ships. I don't know if that car roaring down the road picked up on the mic or not, but he was really going for it. Alright, so spears, and it's actually camel scouts being added in here for Viper. Interesting. So a nice bonus of the Gurjaras. They do start with a camel scout, but they can also make the camel scouts in the feudal age. And the camel scouts, they produce pretty slowly, and they aren't that good yet. They're better than a regular scout, but realistically it's not worth the difference in production time and stuff like that, the cost as well. But if you can mass up some camel scouts, they are upgraded into regular camels when you hit Castle Age, so potentially that's a good power spike if you can keep them alive. Spears. Spear on spear violence here. The scouts actually take out a camel scout. Scout does go down for Hera too, though, and this is awkward here for Viper. He's having to keep his fishing ships in the middle, or else they're going to get sniped down by Hera's scouts. Fire Galley coming out for Viper to try and secure this a little bit better. Last time Viper played this map, he actually went cannon galleons in all 3 ponds. That was his strategy. Was going full navy control and getting cannon galleons out. I don't know if you go for that here. I think that game, the spiral was like reversed. So the spiral came down like into his opponent's base and it was a little bit more worthwhile. But that is something to think about. Viper is walled over here still. Okay. And we're just going to go up to Castle Age. Okay. Pretty chill. We're pretty chill here with between these two. Probably just the level of respect both players have for each other, right? One, like, bad fight can really swing the game pretty hard if you're that close to one another in skill level. So both players taking it pretty easy, not wanting to take a really bad fight, either of them. This is nice, that Camel Scout getting a lot of value. But it leads to somewhat defensive feudal ages. Castle Age for both. Viper 10 seconds ahead or so. And we'll see what the composition is here in the Castle Age. This is what I was curious about. I'm not sure what you go into if you're Hera. Feels like camels are just an easy choice for Viper. And I guess Hera's also committing to that. He's adding in a second stable, but I mean, I know Berber camels are decent, but versus the Gurjaras, it just doesn't feel... Doesn't quite feel like the play to me, but we'll see. Bloodline's coming in for Hera. Bloodline's coming in for Viper. And again, Viper is able to add in these camels on the way up, right? That's another little bonus. the Gujaras have over the Berbers. Hera has to wait for Castle Age to come in before he can start making anything, but Viper can just make them now. It's slow, but every, you know, having an extra 4 or 5 camels on the field when you hit Castle Age can be important. All right. Viper is about to hit the Castle Age. But I think we know what he's going for, although he doesn't have upgrades on them yet either. Be Shravamsha. Okay, so he starts with the camels. And then he's mixing in the Shravamsha. Hera goes for an immediate 2 town centers. Shravamshas are a great raiding unit. They don't do good against the camels, but they can kill villagers pretty fast. So if Viper leads the Shravamshas with some camels of his own, maybe this could end up being pretty good for him. One-on-one. Oh, that was a nice trap by Hera. That was a really nice trap from Hera. Okay, 2nd and 3rd town center for Viper as well. Hera sees this one, but can't deny it. Wheelbarrow coming in for Viper. Okay. Camels coming across. Viper's switching back into camels. He got the couple of Shravamsha out, and could be a bit of a hassle here for Hera. Honestly. He's delayed that monastery at least. Shravamsha are faster than the camels, so they can just run away. Ooh, and this is not a great fight for Hera. Shravamsha are going to look for somewhere to do damage. If they can find their way to this wood line, it could be pretty rough for Hera. Otherwise, I think he's okay. Scout running around for Hera. Just taking a peek around, seeing what's happening in Viper's base. Okay, Hera's finally going to come out here and try to finish this monastery. It's been a long time coming, this monastery, I'll tell you what. And I think Viper's just going for relics here, but Hera is around with the scouts. So that monk's going to go down. Viper will be able to take this relic, and this one's not too far away either. What relic am I missing? There's those 2, there's this one, there's this one. I don't know where the 5th relic is. Hera getting some raiding damage in, but then not paying attention to his scouts, loses both to the town center. Oh, it's in the middle. Okay, I see. I see it. Camels. Finding value against the fishing ships from Hera. Viper has managed to keep his fish alive this whole time. They're out of deep fish. So it's only the shore fish left to take, and there's only a couple of those left. So the food's pretty slow coming from these fishing ships for Viper, but a little bit's better than nothing, right? Viper trying to catch up on eco upgrades. Hera did a pretty good job of springing for those early. First relic comes in for Viper. And he's going out for this one in the middle. I think he's going to be able to take that one. He's got quite a few camels on the field. 9 camels for Viper. As that relic is going to get yoinked back. What does Viper see as far as the other ones? Oh, he doesn't see any of them, actually. Again, just can't quite see what he needs to. This one especially is really tough. These 2 relics being right on the edge of the map. Hera does see this one in the back corner at least, so he can go get that one. Might be the only relic he gets unless he manages to scout that one somehow. Alright, Monk's getting conversions here, or trying to. $67 Vils for Viper, 69 for Hera. Very, very even. Sanctity coming in for Viper. What do Berber monks look like? Yeah, Berbers don't get Sanctity, so that's one difference between the 2 civs. These two Shrivampshas are still alive, by the way, as the players might be gearing up for a fight. I think Hera has more here, right? 14 to 12? With the extra 2 monks, that's actually a fight Viper can still take. Shrivampsha are going to dive in on this monk. They're very speedy, so it's hard to get the conversion in on them, but has to pull back from the camels. Conversion does come in on the Shrivampsha there, but suddenly 2 camels get converted for Viper from Hera. The monk goes down to the Shrivampsha. A pretty good initial engagement for Viper. Rated a Shrivampsha for 2 camels and a monk. That's not bad. Doesn't want to leave his monks completely alone, though they do have their conversion still. Maybe that wasn't a conversion, because they shouldn't have their conversions back, right? That is 2 more conversions, I think, that Viper just got. Who is this better for? It's pretty even, honestly. It's a quite even fight. I think Hera wins it at the end of the day, but seems like a pretty even trade. It would be nice if Viper could snipe down these weak camels in here, but looks like, well, he's got more camels coming. Okay, so big ol' camel violence there, but I don't think either player really gained a huge advantage. Viper did take that fight down in armor, which didn't help him out any. More stables behind for Viper. Viper has added in, I guess they both have added in a 4th town center, but Hera is not producing out of this one yet. Okay, there we go. Also, not for nothing, but Hera is quite close to Imperial Age here if he wants it. His food eco is no joke back here. Look at the farms. Very, very nice here for Hera. But he doesn't want Imp. He wants to keep going camels. He queues up more camels. He queues up Iron Casting. And he's going to try and continue the Castle Age fight. Monk, thinking about converting a fishing ship here. Would be a little bit annoying. Also, this monk is charged up, so he should be able to get a conversion on these camels if Viper's paying attention. Pay attention, Viper, please. He might still get it. He does. Okay. He was charged up enough that he still got the conversion, so that's not the end of the world. This is the first castle for Hera. And I said at the beginning, it feels like camel archers are just pretty strong against the Gujaras, generally speaking. Viper has his own castle here. I don't know if the chakrams are really a unit you want to invest into here, though. Eric clicks up to Imp. Viper will be right behind him. And we'll see what the final composition's here. You can't just stay in camels as Hera. You can't. The Gurjara camels are too good. They are simply too good. But if you can go like camel archer, maybe that's a composition that can work for you. Getting that armor. And he's still producing camels as Viper clicks up. Viper doesn't have any Castle Age upgrades on these camels yet. Just feels like that Berber economy has helped Hera out a little bit more. He's about 1,000 res collected ahead. So I guess that's the difference in your upgrades you see right there. Okay, second armor is in for Hera. He's also getting light cav, so I mean, Berber Hussar is good, but it's not going to do well against the Gurjara camels, but maybe just as a meat shield in front of whatever else you have can be decent. Kshatriyas coming in for Viper. We've got another big ol' camel fight. I have to be honest, I'm a fan of camels generally. I kind of like the camel v-camel fights. They're oddly satisfying in some way. Production here is nuts for Hera, by the way. He's got 33 camels on the field as he hits Imp. Viper's back at 16. He is ramping his production up now, but Gonna be a little bit behind as Hera hits Imp, immediate heavy camel. That's worthwhile no matter what. If you've got that many camels on the field, you need that upgrade. He's not going into camel archers, it's just straight up camel. Straight up camel and hope that your eco can pull you through, I guess. Alright, Imperial Age for Viper. Heavy camel on the way. That third armor is also on the way for Viper. He does... I guess he does not get access to Blast Furnace, which is something Hera can get. Okay, Conscription coming in as well. Hera finding a good engagement here against villagers, and Viper's not noticing. That's 2 villagers down. It's going to be 4 villagers dead before Viper reacts. Don't want to throw your camels away here if you're Hera, if you can help it, but he might... Okay, he gets away with most of them. Both players are up here. Hera actually has sneaky stables up here. Interesting. So he's going to be spamming out camels from the back of Viper's base. Viper does know about this completely. He fully knows about this. But Hera's in the eco. 3 more villagers down on the farms. I don't know where the gap is here. I guess it's right here. Don't blame Viper for not seeing that. Okay, we've got another big camel fight. Technically even upgrades, but the Gurjara camels are kind of cracked. And you see that there? Oh, God. Oh, boy. That's a lot of dead Hera camels. Viper's up to 0+7 melee armor, and it's only 0+2 on Hera's. Oh, boy. It's underneath the castle, so that's about as good of a fight as Hera's going to get. But I think you can't just stay in camels, right? There's no way you can just stay in camels versus the Gurjaras. What are all the Gurjara bonuses? They have the armor, they attack faster, they produce faster. And game was paused by Hera. Hera's checking the tech tree. He's like, ooh, what do I have against this? There's 50 Gurjara camels on the field. Hera's going to get that last attack upgrade that he can get, while Hera's getting the last upgrade he can get. But, like... I mean, at this point, like, what are we doing here as the Berbers? You just can never take this fight, right? There's never a time when you can just take a straight-up camel versus camel fight. Well, he takes the hill. He tries to take the hill. Viper fades back a little bit so that some of these camels aren't on the hill, but it still does not matter. Viper is absolutely rinsing Hera here. That is a terrible fight for Hera. It's as good as he's gonna get, but holy, an absolute massacre. Viper still has 44 camels on the field, and Hera's down to 16. I think Hera needed the camel archers way earlier, right? I don't think this was ever going to happen. But the camels do expel here for Hera. He finds some kills in the back. I mean, he's 39-3 eco KD, so Hera's eco is way better. It's just that he can't take any fights. His military is just straight up worse. He's going to find more kills here. He's ripping Viper's eco apart. Viper's going to dip down to 100 villagers again. Well, if he can maintain this eco... If he can keep picking away at Vipers, he's now got an extra 50% villagers over where Viper's sitting. Another big fight here. Underneath the castle is pretty good for Hera, but the Trebs do get sniped down. Now it's Viper's turn to be running through the eco with camels, and Gurjara camels can snipe pretty decently. Viper also clearing this stuff up at the back. Hera has put one light cav in each stable. Nice. Hoarding's on the way for Hera, but this castle is simply going to die eventually. He has gotten his camel numbers up pretty nicely again. Viper trying to get his eco sorted in the back. If Hera can take a big fight, maybe he feels like he can just outproduce Viper into a game-winning situation. He's going to go for a cannon galleon in this dock, but he's pop-capped, so that's not coming out anytime soon. You can never take this fight if you're Hera. Up this hill against the Gurjaras. This is suicide, Hera. There ain't no way. There simply ain't no way. Viper's a little hesitant. He's actually a little hesitant to take the fight. Okay, now he's not hesitating. Look at all of these camel bodies all over the place. Hera is sinking all of his stone into repairing this castle. He's been repairing it for minutes on end. And he's got no more stone to take. Raids coming in around this side for Viper. Nice. Here we go. Here's another fight. It actually feels like Hera's taking a better initial fight. Viper's got a lot of camels not attacking around this side. That's actually not bad. It's actually not bad at all for Hera. Just not great positioning for Viper to start that fight out. So yes, his camels are better 1v1. Viper going for the quick walls, and he actually gets them in, so the Trebs are going to stay standing. But the cannon galleon, sorry, has come out, finally. These camels can still run around the outside here. You can't really full wall this in. And the Trebs are going to go down for Viper. Ooh, Viper's out of military. So this is what I said, right? If Hera can take one big fight, suddenly his eco is just so much... I guess Viper's kind of caught up on villagers, but look at the res collected difference. That's Berber economy for you right there. And look at these camels. 35 camels for Hera. He's getting into pikemen. He's also taking all this gold in the middle, which is very, very important. If either of these players runs out of gold, they're completely dead in the water here, right? If you can't make camels in this matchup, you're just kind of dead. So this is really important that Hera's out here. Maghrabi Camel coming in for Hera. I think is that the healing tech? Can't quite remember. I think that makes his camels heal over time, right? Maybe not. They're not. Oh, they are healing. Okay. Yeah, so that's gonna feel okay for Hera. That's a nice little advantage. And this monastery is gonna go down. Those are Viper's 4 relics. Now, sitting out on the ground. Viper is up to 33 camels, but the pikemen could be a deciding factor in here now for Hera. Viper's trying to add in spears, but the Gurjaras don't even get pikemen. That's not amazing. Just Hera's things. He's killing tons of villagers around the sides with these Hussar. Hera's making his own monastery forward now, so he can just yoink these relics for himself. And we're getting to the position where actually chakrams would go pretty hard here for Viper, but I don't think he can ever get into them, right? It's just one castle, and you need like a lot of chakrams before they start feeling good. Hera goes for a castle here. Man, it was feeling so good for Viper for so long, but I think it's just a little bit too late now. He's going to try and take a fight here against the pikemen, though. I did say Gurjara camels feel better against pikemen than most, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And Viper calls the GG. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's what an extra 15,000 resources there for Hera will do for you, right? That res collected difference is crazy. And part of that is Berber Eco, part of that is 70 to 8 Eco KD. This is why Hera is so good on these open maps, right? He can do so many things at once. And Viper is one of the best in the game at doing that same thing, but even Viper can't respond everywhere at the same time. While Hera's sending in Hussar over here, he had those stables in the back over here, just always running in, finding little bits of eco damage wherever he can. All right, welcome in. This is now game 5. Viper versus Hera. And Viper's looking for the win here to keep our 1-1 trend continuing, right? We've been going back and forth, so it's Viper's turn now. I think that's how that works. I think he's got a good chance. He's got the Bohemians here on Arena, and Hera has gone for the Burgundians. The Burgundians have been really popular, it's got to be said. They've been really popular on Arena throughout this tournament. I don't know if the extra vills make that much of a difference for them. I mean, it does mean they can swing their eco upgrades basically immediately, right? So I guess that feels pretty good. I don't know. I like the Burgundians a lot. They're one of my favorite civs, but they just feel a little bit lackluster at certain points in the game. Especially if Bohemians can get into like Halb, maybe hand cannon, siege. I think the Burgundians struggle a bit to have an answer to that, but we'll see. We shall see there. For now, both players are just going to boom it up a little. Usually we see Burgundians going fast feudal and rushing eco upgrades. I think that's mostly what we've seen, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Hera go up within the next vill or two here. We'll see what Viper wants to do. The Bohemians have a couple different options, right? Most of what they want to do is in Castle Age, so it's probably going to be a fast castle either way. But you could do... I don't think like tower rushes are ever the way against the Burgundians, though. So I think this has to be either just a boom, FC boom into like Imp, or you could do some castle drop shenanigans if you wanted to. We'll see what Viper has in mind. Hera actually did not go up to the feudal age super fast. Okay. He's actually still going, so it's just going to be an FC, I guess just an FC boom for Hera, probably, right? I don't think the Burgundians ever go, like, pressure. It's probably just going to be a relic control and boom for Hera. I guess that is true. As the Burgundians, you want relic control, right? So maybe getting up fast and contending for them is viable. All right, it's going to be peaceful FCs for both players. Hera clicks up first. Viper goes up one villager later. Viper's pushing in his last deer, and then he's going to be out and about with the scout. He does have to be careful here if we're contesting for relics. It's kind of important here that Hera's up first, right? If you catch out your opponent's scout while you're in the feudal age and they're not, it's kind of a big deal. So I'm curious to see if Viper actually leaves. He might just stay home with this scout until he's actually in the feudal age. It looks like he might. That darkness is scary, right? Scary world out there. Hera also comes home just in case Viper's up before him. He wants to keep his scout safe. So again, like I said, I've said this all set, right? Both players giving each other a lot of respect here, not wanting to throw away any single advantage they could possibly have. Alright. Get into the feudal age. Hera's going to drop a market and a black... Oh no, it's going to be a stable and a market. That's right. If you're trying for relic contestation, you want that stable in there. Viper's probably going to do the same thing. Market, stable. And is Hera going to have the food for this, actually? He might have to buy 100 food. Ooh, actually. Yeah, the build's a little bit off here for Hera. Just a tiny bit off. Viper's going to be able to click up cleanly. So that advantage Hera had going up to the feudal age is going to reverse in the other direction for the castle age. But they both do get up at roughly the same time. So not the end of the world for Hera. Just a little bit of idle TC time in there. Okay. So both players are probably going to add in scouts as they can on their way up. Hera can also afford his eco upgrades. Although Hera hasn't even gotten a horse collar as the Burgundians. I know Hera doesn't like getting horse collar until his second round of farms, but it feels like with the Burgundians, maybe it's worth springing. Okay, now he gets horse collar for this group of farms he's putting down. It's not bad then. Scouts for both. Viper's out here with a spearman as well. I will say, the relics are pretty heavily in Viper's favor here. I guess technically this one's closer to Hera, so that one's Hera's, this one's Hera's. These two are Viper's, and this is the neutral one. But this one is much closer to Viper than this one is for Hera. Both of these civs do benefit quite greatly from the relics. The Bohemians always just need more gold, as Viper goes for a second TC back here as well. The Burgundians get food from their relics in addition to the gold, so they want as many as they can get for that reason. Light Cav from Hera even coming in. Okay, he's not playing around. But the extra spearmen on the field for Viper might make a difference. Fervor coming in for Viper before the monk. Interesting. Interesting. Light Cav hits for Hera. Sometimes you intentionally don't want the Light Cav upgrade because it does reduce your speed a tiny bit. You can see the difference there. 150 to 155. Hera will be out with monks first, though. Viper doesn't even have the gold for the monk. Interesting. He's going for another town center over here. Okay. So I said boom for the Burgundians, but it's actually full relic contestation first for Hera. He's going to add in TCs now. Interesting. I mean, he's gonna get quite a few of the relics, or he should be able to. It depends on how good Viper is about sniping these monks, but he's going to have 2 monks on the field before Viper's even making his first one. Alright, monk on the way for Viper. Hera. Come out and snag his free relic, quote unquote. And try and come out here and get this one, but that's a little bit too scary. And he pulls his monk back again. A little bit too scary with the Light Cav out there. Viper did end up getting that upgrade. Hera's down here, so if Viper tries to take his quote-unquote free relic, might not be quite as free as he thought. They're getting some nice hits in on Viper's light cav. The spearmen arrive, but they're going to get cleared up after only a couple of good pokes. I mean, Hera's investing a lot into this, right? Viper is not quite investing as much. He's not really booming up that much either, though. Like, the farms have been pretty slow to come up, so Viper hasn't been able to continuously produce out of these 3 town centers. So even though... Oh boy, he comes back, though. He's going to snipe this monk. Really nice snipe from Viper. With way fewer cav units out here, he's still finding value. He's going to do the loop-de-loo around this stone and come back for this monk. Oh, he doesn't. He could have if he knew. Okay, Hera took this quote-unquote neutral relic. He's also going to get that one. So it's 3 relics already for Hera. That's pretty bad. Viper does get his relic. We'll see if he can get this one. If the Burgundians can get 4 relics, that's a lot of extra resources. Third town center for Hera. It's on the stone. Wheelbarrow coming in. At the same time, I do prefer the Bohemians as far as what they can make late in the game. So maybe Viper's okay giving up the relics as long as he can get into his composition at the end of the day. We'll see, though. Really would like to not give this one to Hera, I think. I think you can feel okay about going down 3-2 on relics against the Burgundians. I don't think you can go down 4-1. I think that's too much. We'll see. Viper's coming out for it. But Hera is here with the light cav. He's going to try and loop around with these. He's got to be careful. This monk is charging up some of his yodels. So if Hera ever comes back around, could give up a pretty quick conversion to this guy. He's still maintaining this conversion, by the way. He's still maintaining this conversion. He's going to get another couple of screams in here. And he's going to get that conversion. Okay, so the monk does go down for Viper, but he does get a conversion on the light cav. That's not as well. It's still pretty bad to lose those 2 monks, I guess. He has to make another monk to try and get that relic. It's awkward. University in the back for Viper. He's also going to go onto stone. Probably going to click up to imp pretty soon here. Hera's going to be a little bit in front of him, though. Hera might get this relic. I think Hera's going to get this relic, this monk. I know he's got fervor. He's a pretty speedy monk, but I think he's got way too far to sprint compared to Hera. Unless Viper can loop-de-loo around here and get some snipes in, but I think Hera can either just convert the spearman or... Okay, well... 1 monk goes down. It's only going to be 1, though, and Viper is not going to be able to come out here with his monks. Okay, so Imperial Age coming in for both. Hera is going to claim that last relic. He's going to be up 4-1 relics with the Burgundians. That feels really good. Viper getting his barracks down. Getting loom. He's getting his upgrades for his infantry. So it's going to be Halb siege, right? That's always the composition for the Bohemians. Maybe monks behind. Okay, he's going to have to push. He's going to have to push hard, right? The eco back here for Hera is going to be pretty cracked. I guess... Oh, true. That's why he rushed... That's why he rushed Fervor. I forgot that the Bohemian villagers benefit from the monk tax, right? So Fervor is like wheelbarrow, basically, for the Vills. I forgot about that bonus for the Bohemians. I was wondering why this eco was looking so good for him. That makes a ton of sense now. Okay. Pikeman is in. armor and forging coming in. Viper's actually double fisting these blacksmiths back here. So he's able to get all of his blacksmith upgrades at once, eco permitting. Ferrarivilles, exactly. Look at how speedy these villagers are, zooming around. Forward Siege Workshop here as both players are getting castles up in the middle. Vipers might be a little bit tougher to get up, but he's got the pikemen here, so I think he can probably fend off the army from Hera long enough to get the castle up. Yeah, he's got plenty of pikemen. Alb coming in for him. Bombard cannons on the way out. That's another Bohemian advantage, as Viper was able to research chemistry in the Castle Age. So he's immediately into the bombard cannons. Hera, he has to get chemistry now. It's a long tech as well. So initially, this should be pretty good for Viper. Alb is in. He's getting the armor as well. I don't think Hera's going to be able to snipe this bombard cannon. It's going to be real tough for him with these Halbs here. And I think if Viper is ever able to swing Hufnitsa, it becomes a very, very tough fight for Hera. I think that upgrade is very difficult for the Burgundians to overcome. But it's a very expensive tech, so Viper's not going to be able to afford it for a while anyway. Trebs are out for both players. Bombard cannons also chipping away at Hera's castle. Fletching coming in for the castles. That's masonry coming in for Viper's castle. Hera's getting Hussar. They aren't the best Hussar in the world. Burgundians don't get bloodlines, but Hussar is still Hussar, right? Alright, castle goes down for Hera. Kind of was half-heartedly repairing it, but I think he knew it was a foregone conclusion that that was going down eventually, so just wanted to delay it as much as possible. Bombard cannon's kind of out of position here with the Halbs. Okay, he's got to pull the Halbs back. Kind of a choke point in here. It's fine. This is fine. Yeah, and the Hussar go down real fast to these Halbs, it's got to be said. Skirms are mixed in here. They aren't amazing skirms. They don't get the last armor. They also don't get Thummerang, though that's not a huge tech for skirms. I think the skirms are going to feel pretty good here until, again, that Hufnitsa upgrade, or even just Hussite wagons could feel pretty good here. Viper's going to go for another castle. He actually just buys that castle straight up. 600 stone he buys for that castle. That's crazy. Hussar trying to dive on these bombard cannons, and that does not work out for Hera. Viper definitely needs to keep his Halb number up, though. But... oh, that was a nice attack ground from Hera. Burgundian monks, they actually are quite good. So I think monk is probably always in your composition here for Hera, right? If you can get redemption and block printing, they feel really good against the bombard cannons. Hera is now out of castles. He's going to go for one in the back. He's losing siege workshops as well, though, if he's trying to go bombard cannon for bombard cannon. Siege engineer is on the way for Viper. And I don't know, it just feels like I mean, one of these is a meta arena pick, and one of them is not for a reason, right? Burgundians are better on arena than... oh, huge attack there from Hera. It takes out 3 bombard cannons from Viper in one volley. Absolutely tremendous shot. Going to force Viper to reinvest in more bombard cannons. That's going to be a slow and expensive process. Treb. Gotta make sure you don't give up a bombard cannon for free versus this Treb. Okay, conscription coming in. More upgrades on these cavalry units that Hera doesn't really have right now. It's worth noting, this is a lot of resources right here in this part of the screen, right? So that Viper having control over this side of the map is way more important than Hera having control over this side of the map. There's one gold pile over here. Look at the unbalance in where this stuff spawned in. It's not unfair, right? Hera could be out here just as easily, but it is... I mean, at this point, now that Viper has control, it's very unbalanced. Alb's diving in. They're doing okay against the skirms, thanks to that missing that last armor. I guess they don't even have attack upgrades, so I'm surprised they're actually doing that much damage. Another forward castle here for Viper, and he's got Hussite wagons diving into Hera's economy behind this, but 5 bombard cannons here for Hera. He's got a lot of Hussar, a lot of skirms. He's got some hand cannons mixed in. Burgundian hand cannons have a lot of attack. You get extra attack compared to other hand cannons. Bracer on the way, armor coming in for these halbs. That's important. The Hussite wagons are going in. Hera's going for a very defensive castle at the back of his base. But he definitely can't lose access to these golds. So it's maybe not the end of the world to have that. All these bombard cannons are, I think, going to kill this castle, right? I don't think Viper can keep this up. So one of the 3 castles there falls. Last armor is in. Architecture on the way for Viper. That is... yeah, Hera doesn't have any building upgrades here. Skirms tanking some shots that would have otherwise gone into... look at how many bombard cannons Hera has. It's 7 of them right here. Viper's... this last castle is going to melt for Viper. That was Wagenburg Tactics trying to come in, but it does not. That is Wagenburg Tactics denied. Oh boy, Hera is suddenly looking to be in a pretty good position. He is going to lose that bombard cannon to the Treb. But the Hussar are running in. Where are the halbs? They're diving in against skirms. They're not protecting the units they need to protect. All those bombard cannons are going to go down. I think Viper's dead. I think he might be. This last castle from Viper is going to get smoked by... how many is this? 8 bombard cannons from Hera. And Viper drops the GGB. Oh boy, I don't know. Viper had all the positioning he could have wanted, and he just kept throwing halbs into the skirms, right? Viper throw? It was close. It was pretty close to a throw. He was in a really good position. Res Collected was still in his favor too. Honestly, he should not have lost this at all. He really should not have lost this. He just kept throwing halbs into the mass here, right? 155 to 88 KD in Hera's favor. Man, I don't know. All I do know is that Hera takes the lead for the first time in this set. So welcome in. Game 6 here, Viper versus Hera. It was a back and forth set, but Hera takes the double win back to back. So Viper's got to come in strong here with something. We're here on good old Arabia. Classical Arabia. Viper has indeed gone for the Aztecs. Interesting. And Hera is going for the Mayans here. Okay, the Mayans were expected. Aztecs, don't get me wrong, they're good on Arabia, but I guess he still has options on the other maps that he's going to need, so maybe this is fine. So I will say, feel like I prefer Mayans here, or do I? I think I prefer Mayans over Aztecs on Arabia. I think so. But it depends on how things go, right? Mayans eco feels pretty good. They have the better skirms. Eagles, I actually don't know which eagle is better, straight up. Do El Dorado eagles beat, I'm blanking on what the upgrade is called. Oh boy, that's gonna bother me. I'm actually gonna look that up. I don't know why that's, I don't know why I can't think of what that upgrade is called. Garland Wars. Actually, maybe not. They have the Atlatl skirms as well, right? So both civs here have unique techs that help their skirmishers and help their eagles. I actually don't know which is better straight up. Interesting. I think the Mayan eco is just good enough to give them an advantage here. Hera is up a solid 45 seconds to a minute faster than Viper. Viper is going for a man at arm rush, or maybe just a drush. This might just be a French drush. Hera's just going to go up and probably go archer with some eagles mixed in. Alright, Eagle coming forward, Militia coming forward. They are going to run into a Tiger here before they get into Hera's base. That's a little bit awkward. It's not the end of the world, but taking 15 damage for free before you even reach the enemy base is always a little tough. Now, hold on. Viper is going to maybe snipe a villager here. Oh, he's not. Really good from Hera being able to get that villager back, and he gets some nice damage in on that eagle. Archery range has been delayed here. Hera is going to want to quick wall his villager in. Oh, he just gets it. He just gets it. Gotta let my cat out of the room. So, not the end of the world for Hera, but that is a bit of a delay, right? Just, oops. Punching my mic. I'm completely out of sorts. Just not getting that archery range up as fast can be a factor, right? Viper was up quite a bit later than Hera to the feudal age, but the archery ranges are going to be completed at fairly similar timings. Okay, militia are around.
Shot it.
Eagles chasing eagles at the front. Skirms being added in for Viper, as he knows it's an archer play from Hera. Blacksmith for Hera as well. Militia still hanging out. They can still be annoying back here. But Eagles are forward, Archers are coming forward, and Viper's only got Skirms in protection back here, which I guess he does have an Eagle. But Skirm Eagle does not feel as good as Archer Eagle at all. Viper's gonna have to fight with his villagers. He's gonna lose a villager here. Ooh. Oh, he just loses that vill. And he's fighting with another villager. There are just more eagles here for Hera. This is really bad for Viper, actually. He's going to lose another villager. Okay. Hera now has a 3-villager lead, roughly. Make it 2.5, thanks to that 15 seconds of idle time Hera has. Militia find absolutely no value. The militia were a big waste, actually, for Viper. One eagle peels off to get the last hit on that militia. And Viper, this might be a quick game, honestly. This might be a really quick game. The skirms can engage against the eagles, but there's nothing to back up the skirms. There's one eagle here. One more gets filtered in. Viper has no chances against Hera in Arabia. I mean, Hera is pretty gross on Arabia, it's gotta be said. Another villager goes down there. I don't think there are many people that have a good chance against Hera on Arabia, it's gotta be said. I think this is Hera's best map for sure. It's now 3-0 eco KD at 7-1 total KD in Hera's favor. That's really good. Fletching coming in for Viper now, but even Fletching is not going to make these skirms feel great against the eagles. Another villager caught out here for Viper, and another villager goes down for Viper. And Hera's just going to turn on the production faucet at this point, right? He's done so much damage, he can just basically go feudal forever now, and I think just overpower Viper slowly with a better economy. Viper's trying to get walls up at the front of his base. The archers are still making that difficult, though. Archers are actually doing quite good damage against the eagles from Viper. This is going to be maybe 2 more villagers down for Viper, honestly. Like I said, this could be a really quick game. Eagles go down. There's no armor on the skirm, so the archers are still doing decent damage. This might be another villager, could go down. Okay, Viper saves him for now. Getting a couple nice hits on the archers. He's going to add in a second barracks, Viper is. So, I don't know, though. His eco looks like he wants to save for Castle Age, but I don't think you can ever do that, right? I think Hera just kills you if you spend that much res on Castle Age right now. He's trying. He's gonna try it. And this is the greedy Viper that sometimes is not so great. He's gonna try and get up. He's still producing some eagles, though. He's kind of stuck in purgatory here. He's not producing villagers, but he is producing eagles. He's like trying to get up to Castle Age, but also can't without getting overrun by Hera's production. So he's just kind of caught out in the middle of nowhere, trying to do 2 different things at once. Oh boy. Alright, he uses the marketplace a little bit, and he's going to be able to click up kind of eventually, surely soon he's going to be able to click up. He clicks up, but Hera's pretty close behind him, and he hasn't idled himself out to do it. So Hera is now a solid 7 or 8 villagers ahead of Viper as he clicks up to Castle Age right behind. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't know. I think the mines are just simply better here, and I think, honestly, Hera is just simply better on Arabia right now. So it's kind of a tough one for Viper. I think losing that arena game is really going to come back to haunt Viper in this set, potentially. Beautiful job there by Hera. He attacks the villager before the house can come down. So, prevents the trap there. Another villager down for Viper, by the way. It's now 7-0 eco KD. Hera's, I guess, fully walled back here. But even if he wasn't walled, it doesn't matter, because Viper has to keep his entire military home just to prevent Hera from rinsing him. And here we go. Viper's going to be off of the gold here. He can't really engage with the eagles because the archers are going to be doing so much extra damage behind it. Ooh boy. Viper's going to pull villagers off this wood line. He's going to start boxing. This could be okay for Viper. He's clearing up a lot of military for Hera. Castle Age is in for Viper. That was actually a really good fight for Viper. He really needed that. Castle Age for Hera. No more skirms left for Viper, which is going to... maybe it doesn't matter. It looks like both players just want to go full Eagle. Look at Hera's economy, though. He's now 1,400 res collected ahead. 13 or 1,400. He's getting the armor. He's getting Eagle Warrior. Viper has not been able to afford that armor. He hasn't even been able to afford forging, so the Eagles are much better for Hera. Yeah, this is going to not be a great fight for Viper now, if he tries to keep taking it. Does have numbers advantage here, I guess, so maybe that's okay. Squire's coming in for both. Oh, sorry, I thought I saw Squires coming in for Viper, but maybe not. Maybe I just looked at Hera twice. That's going to be a big upgrade for him over Viper. Production for both is decent. Okay, now Squires comes in for Viper, but he doesn't have the upgrades, right? He's squarely behind on attack and armor. So he can't really take these fights, it feels like. Nice trap. Beautiful. Take that eagle out of the picture. This is 2 more villagers that are going to go down for Viper, though, as the berries are over-forged. So it is now 9-0 Eco KD. Also, Viper didn't come in here with enough eagles, so these 3 eagles from Hera are going to be able to kill those and then simply leave again. And Hera can take this fight. He just has better upgrades. Viper takes the fight, but he's dead. GG. And Hera is now just 1 win away from taking Warlords 3. He's just so good on Arabia. He puts so much pressure on, but still has a really nice looking economy behind it, right? He was even adding in the second town center. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting show from Hera. All right, welcome in. Game 7 here. Potentially decider game in this series. Hera just needs 1 more win, and he is the winner of Warlords 3. And we're here on Haboob. And Hera has gone for the Saracens. Interesting. Okay. Viper's gone for the Chinese. Chinese are very strong on these 9 villager starts, right? You can put all those vills straight onto food, and you can see Viper only has a single second of idle time. So he's just straight up ahead by 2 villagers. That will be 3 villagers whenever Hera gets Loom. So Chinese are kind of cracked here. Saracens have some options though, right? Saracens, obviously the first thing you think about with the Saracens is the market. They can hit some pretty gross timings with that market, depending on what they want to do. So we'll see what the game plan is here for Hera. I do think Chinese generally feel better until we hit Imperial Age. Then I think the Saracens claw back some potential there. But I do think the Chinese are going to be I think the Chinese should be preferred here in this game, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But we'll see, right? Hera is probably preferred in these aggro maps, so Viper's gonna have to survive. This lumber camp feels really good until Hera shows up with archers, and then it starts to feel really bad that these villagers are trapped in here. Hera's gonna click up to the feudal age, probably after this villager. Maybe. Yes. Feudal age on the way for Hera. Viper. He can click up whenever he wants to. Probably going to be after this villager. And it is. I mean, one second of idle TC time in the Dark Age for the Chinese feels so good, right? This gold is kind of bad for Viper, though. His gold is so far forward. And look at Hera's. It's directly on the opposite side of his town center. So Viper's map hacks on the fritz here on this one a little bit. It's going to be really rough if Hera has anything forward to keep control of that gold. Look at Hera's base, actually. That's gross. He has... Every single one of his resources is directly behind his town center. Viper's got a gold back here, but it's not quite, like, directly behind. He's only got the stone immediately behind. Alright. It's looking like an archer play for Hera. Viper could go scouts here or could go archers. We'll see what he wants to do. Loom coming in now for Hera, so it's going to be a full 3 villager advantage for Viper, and you can already see the difference here, right? It's almost an extra 300 resources in the Dark Age for Viper. It's dropping the range. Walls coming up around the side for Hera. Gotta be a little careful with the scout around, though. Spears coming out for both. Archers coming out for Hera. Viper will also be making them shortly, though, I believe. Archer forward for Hera. That's going to spell bad news for Viper's spear. And already, right, this gold is so bad for Viper. Oh boy. Oh boy. Archer comes out for Viper. He's also got a spearman here, but his scout takes a poke from the spear first. Viper gets another poke in with his spear. Scout goes down for Hera. TC gets a good volley in on the spearman. He gets one more poke before he goes down. Viper can't really engage with that scout anymore, though. Second range here for Viper. Second range for Hera behind this. He's also able to swing fletching. Viper also swings fletching. Okay. So we've got a straight-up archer war. We'll see whose micro is better. Scout's going to go down for Viper. Oh, maybe not. 1 HP. Beautiful. Armor for Viper. That's the Chinese bonus. They get these blacksmith upgrades more cheaply, right? So that's another reason you want to pick Chinese here. Some skirms being mixed in for Viper. That's going to make things pretty difficult for Hera. Especially once that armor's in, these skirms are going to be difficult to overcome. Small walling here. Hera doing Saracen things. Sells his stone. He's going to get the armor as well. Viper can kind of, as long as he doesn't give up this position, Viper is happy to just sit here, right? He's got the eco lead, thanks to the Chinese. So he doesn't really need to do any eco damage. It's Hera that's put on the spot to gain that back. Some idle TC time here, racking up for Hera. Viper's army arrives on the berries. Hera could lose a villager there, but she's going to escape for now. But gold villagers back here, really bad. Ooh, Hera's definitely losing a villager now. Archer's going down as well. Really tough start for Hera. This is just Chinese things. Res collected is now 600 res collected ahead for Viper. Gross. Absolutely gross. Hera's trying to make it work. Viper is housed, so he's having to get a house up. That idle time goes back in the other direction. This is going to be a decent clear up for Hera. He has enough skirms in there to take this fight pretty convincingly, so that's actually a really good fight for Hera. He is now 4 villagers behind, roughly. And Viper's got more military coming forward. Hera's going to go the long way around with these archers, it looks like. So he's going to try and defend with skirms, and then maybe either get a surround in with the archers, or he might just go around this way and look for damage. There is quite a bit of damage to be found, honestly. This is also not a usual Viper farm. It's a little bit too far away. If this was any other player, I wouldn't mention it, but little things like that can sometimes make a difference at the highest level like this. Just shows how much Viper is concentrating on other things, right? Okay, archers are in here for Hera, but Viper's got enough in defense to scare them off. As the fights continue on the front, Hera's just kind of try and snipe down as many archers as he can. He's only got skirms here. Been pretty good micro from Hera so far. Viper is now 1,000 resources collected ahead. Just keeps ticking up and ticking up and ticking up, right? So, like I said, Viper is fine just taking a stalemate in the middle here. This means he's going to continue to gain an advantage. There's a lot of units here for Viper as well. So even though they're mostly skirms, with fletching they can do pretty good damage, and Castle Age comes in for Viper first, even with Hera able to hit that market so much better. Just a straight up better eco for Viper, carries him into a faster Castle Age. Hera could click up now if he wants to delete these villagers. Both players just trading javelin throws up on this hill. Hera is now up to the Castle Age. Archers back here for Viper are going to get cleared up, or maybe... Nah, they should still be forced away. Hera taking this fight from downhill is kind of rough for him. Gotta be said, this tiny little hill for Viper is really annoying to take the fight on. Okay, Hera's gonna push up the hill now. That's good. Viper wants to pull back now, maybe save his numbers for the next age. I mean, I guess with 16 skirms, probably Elite Skirm is not that bad of an upgrade to get, right? So he probably wants to save his numbers for that. He is going to be going into Knights, though. That's his main composition. The singular scout is also very annoying because it's only skirmishers here for Hera, so that one scout can find a lot of value. Castle Age comes in for Viper. Hera still has another 50 seconds to survive. Immediate Bodkin Elite Skirm. Knights coming up behind. Viper's now 1,200 resources ahead. That tower's nice though. Definitely need to keep that gold safe if you're Hera. With Bodkin in now, this is a difficult fight for Hera to take with his regular old Feudal Age skirms. Also Elite Skirm now in. I think Hera has to pull back as long as he can. He's going to get Elite Skirm and Bodkin himself. But he's denied off a ton of farms here. He's denied off the berries. ballistics coming in for Viper. That's so gross. Hera simply cannot afford that. He really cannot afford that upgrade, and that's going to make a big difference here. Alright, well, Viper is pushed down underneath this tower, so Hera is denied off the gold for now, though I don't know if Viper can sit there. Yeah, he's going to have to pull back, and he's going to be losing some HP while the tower is pinging away. He loses that scout. Another skirm goes down to the tower. It's only one knight. Look at the resources for Viper. They are so stretched to the limits. Also, Hera actually snipes down a villager in the back here, or two. Two villagers. Three! Three villagers went down for Viper, so somehow, despite all of this pressure from Viper all game, it's actually 4-1 eco KD for Hera. Ballistics is in for Viper, so he should be able to take this fight well, but Hera just dives in. He says, ballistics doesn't matter if I'm close enough to you. And he's clearing up all this military. There are knights running in for Viper. And Hera does not have an answer to that currently on the field. He's going to mix in some camels. There's no upgrades on these camels, though. And there's another skirmisher army about to punch into Hera's base. Siege workshop behind as well. Hera really at the limits of his eco right now. Camel's going to chase the knight. Skirms are trying to engage at the front. But again, just better. Oh, beautiful split there from Hera. Really nice. Wow. Really good micro here from Hera. I shouldn't be surprised, but out microing ballistics here is still crazy no matter how many times I see it. Okay, the skirms are going to try and snipe down this camel as it wails away at this knight, but Hera's actually forcing this army back. Mangonel is rolling forward for Viper, and that makes this a little bit more of a stressful situation for Hera. Second TC back here for Hera. Viper also going for a town center on the stone, so he's thinking about a castle eventually. I don't know how Hera has managed to fight this against ballistics all this time. It only takes one big shot, though. If Viper can get a really good attack ground in, if Hera looks away for just the wrong split second, that can be his entire army evaporated. Viper can also start forcing the issue by mangonelling down this TC. He's got so many mangonels coming forward. Wow. Okay. Siege workshop in defense for Hera, but he's going to start losing his archery ranges at the front. Crossbow coming in for Viper, so that's to deal with the camels. Because theoretically, if Hera can swing another upgrade or two, the camels beat the skirms and the mangonels and the knights and everything else that Viper is making. Here come the camels. They sniped the mangonel. They sniped down the knight. They're going to try and chase the skirms down. They don't really have those upgrades I said they needed. So they might actually lose to the skirms here eventually. Archery range has gone down for Hera at the front. The second archery range is going to start to go down. Mangonel out for Hera, though, so if Viper isn't paying attention over here... Oh, he loses one Mangonel. No, Viper, not like this. He loses both Mangonels for free. Wait. Is Hera winning this? Attack ground just misses for Hera. Suddenly it's Hera that has a better military on the field. He's got some camels, elite skirms, and mangonels. Viper's just got skirms and crossbow. He gets another mangonel out in a little bit. Third town center for both players. Second cavalry armor for Hera. Saracen camels are better than Chinese camels. They have more HP. Ballistics would be really big here for Hera, I can't deny. His skirmishers would feel so much better with ballistics. But his resources are straight to the wire here. Also, well, I guess he's TCing this gold. I was going to say he's going to have to find another gold here pretty soon. But he's thought that out. He's thought that out. This gold is denied from him, though. As Viper's making his way around town with his army. He does have to be careful. Ooh, Hera's also got to be careful. If he takes a big crop shot, it could be real bad for him. This is the issue with engaging on the farms. Viper is actually going to get an extra couple range. As Hera does take a bit of a crop shot there. Camels circling in, looking for snipes, looking for value. They could find a couple of reinforcements here for Viper, though the monk is here, so I don't know if Hera wants to give up a conversion for free, but I guess he doesn't care because he's giving it up. At the front. Ooh, Hera takes a big shot. Loses a lot of skirms. Oh, and again. Great attack grounds from Viper. This is not the way. Okay, with the camel in there, this should be fine, but the villagers really do not do the business against this camel. That's another eco-kill for Hera. But, okay, 1-to-1 on mangonels at the front between the two players. Fourth TC here for Hera, but Viper is going for the castle drop. This castle is going to deny a lot of production buildings for Hera. It denies quite a bit of farms. It'll eventually kill this TC. Prevents Hera from walling here. And Hera's mangoes are just not in the position to take this fight, right? He cleared up that last mango for Viper, but he can't get to the front in time to deny this. Oh boy. So the castle goes up. Hera has to abandon this TC largely. Hera is on 4 town centers if he can keep up production. But he might be thinking about Imp here. Ooh, he might be thinking about Imp. Bloodlines coming in for Viper. But Hera's idling out for Imperial Age. This could be good for him if he can survive, right? If Viper doesn't kill him before he can get up to Imp, this could be really good for him. He's going to click up. Oh, he's missing a building. Oh, he's trying to get this castle up, get the skirms out of there. He's also going to get a monastery up, okay. All right, well, here we go. Hera clicks up to Imperial Age right now. Viper is not close. He's just producing, so this could mean that Viper just takes a big fight and Hera's dead, or if Viper can't kill Hera in the next 3 minutes, Hera could have a pretty good position. Another castle over here for Viper is going to prevent Hera from continuing to expand in this direction. It's also going to kill this TC. Also denied this wood line a bit. Oh, a massive mangonel shot in there, and Viper loses so much military. Oh boy, both mangonels do go down, but that was a huge shot. And Hera's going to chase this down. He's got the camels behind to deal with the light cav. So that gets cleared up for Viper. He still has military at the front, but losing that army is going to delay him quite a bit. Now Viper has managed to click up to Imp behind this. He is a solid minute and a half behind, though. So Hera could still hit a pretty sick timing window here if he can swing it. His eco is going to be really tough, right? His eco is going to be really tough. But we'll see. He hasn't died yet. Viper is still diving in with some light cav at the front. He's going to kill a villager here. Maybe? Okay, never mind. He's going to kill a villager here. Okay, there we go. And probably that's it for now. He's clearing up all these buildings at the front of Hera's base too, which is not ideal for Hera. Pure Lich hits for Hera. He's got to take some heat off of himself right now. Trebs are going to come out. Crossbow switch. I mean, I guess it's necessary if Viper's going that hard into light cav. You can't just go skirm, right? Ballistics on the way. You need something to protect your trebuchets if Viper wants to dive them with light cav, and I guess that answer is crossbows, but he really can't. I mean, he's dropped so many archery ranges, but he doesn't have the eco to produce out of them. He's trying to afford trebuchets too. Yes, Mangonel is going to go down to the camels, but another swoop of light cav come in. On the wood line, that's another 2, 3, 4, probably 5 dead villagers on that wood line for Hera. Viper hits Imp. He's getting Thumb Ring, Conscription, he's getting the last armor. Conscription might be denied, though, if he's not repairing this. Is it ever denied here? Viper is back in on the stone, but this castle prevents them from doing that much damage back there. The castle... Oh! Does Conscription come in? It doesn't. Conscription is denied, right? That was denied, I'm quite sure. It was really close, but I'm pretty sure that's denied. Chinese CA, I don't think so, but... we'll see. I think it's just going to be Light Cav and Arbalest, right? Viper's up on the hill here with this castle. He's going to dive in with his Light Cav, but there are some crossbows here for Hera. He's getting chemistry as well. This is the big difference, is that the Chinese can't go like bombard cannon, and the Saracens can. So that's why I said at the beginning that I think Saracens feel a bit better in Imp. But... oh, there's a lot of Trebs here. This castle goes down for Viper. He's going to dive in with the light cav. He might kill a trebuchet, and he doesn't. The repair... oh, but the Treb domes Hera's Treb. Viper gets the snipe. No siege engineers? Yeah. There's some issues for sure. Treb on Treb action here as chemistry completes for Hera. Viper gets chemistry now, but that only gives his crossbowmen an extra damage. I guess theoretically he can't. Yeah. Like have dive in, that's another Treb down. This one will probably be saved. But Viper's Treb is still pinging away from up on the hill. Arbalest is swung by Hera. Viper's eco is looking really good right now, though. Arbalest coming in for him as well. He's at 135 vils. Hera is struggling to stay above 100. Also, light cav are everywhere. Light cav coming in from every angle. There are still these camels here, but Hera has to call the GG. The eco is just too strong from Viper and the Chinese. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We're not done yet. We are not done yet. Chinese just feel so strong economically, right? Viper had like 800 more res by the time he was clicking up to Castle Age. He had like 1,300 or 1,500 by the time he was getting extra TCs down and stuff, and Eric could just never catch up. Welcome in. This is game 8? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Game 8. Here in Warlords, the finals on Sacred Springs. Hera has gone for the Magyars. Okay. So he's saving Chinese for Land Madness. I think that makes sense. The Chinese are really good on that map. And Viper has gone for the Bulgarians. I mean, Viper doesn't have very many options left, so he's got to go for the Bulgarians here. Just build Krepos in the cliffs for an easy free win, is what Ego Garabatos is saying in my chat. Maybe. I think he's got to do something, right? Krepos up in here maybe could be pretty good. Or maybe just like in on these golds, can deny a lot of gold from your opponent. I don't know. He's gonna have to survive first, right? The first order of business for Viper is he has to survive the Magyars. And the Bulgarians, I'm actually gonna remind myself real fast what the Bulgarians' bonuses even are, because I see them so infrequently these days that I don't fully remember. Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at these bonuses, and I'm remembering why the Bulgarians are not that great. Okay, so they basically have no bonuses until Castle Age. They have a couple in Feudal Age a little bit, but they're kind of out of luck until Castle Age. We actually have a Balkan War here. True historical rivalry. True. We're full role-playing here. Magyars versus Bulgarians. How did that Balkan War end up going, though? I'm not a history buff. Historically, who got the better of these engagements? Both players going for the mills up here. So you get food in pretty quickly off the shore fish or box turtles, as it happens to be here. Both players click up to the Feudal Age at the same time. Viper's going for the militia. One bonus the Bulgarians do get in Feudal Age is they get the men-at-arms upgrade for free. So I guess that's value. But the Magyars get forging for free, and their scouts outpace the man-at-arms pretty quickly. pretty quickly. So we'll see here. If Viper can pull off this win somehow, I'm going to be hyped beyond belief for the last game. I'll tell you that. Even though I think Hera has a much better civ for the last game. Alright, Viper is arriving here with this militia. They will be men-at-arms in another 25 seconds. So Hera's got to be careful here. He does have Loom, thankfully. This is not one of the games that he decided not to get Loom. Equally, Viper does not want to take any extra damage on these militia. Hera's villagers are really dusting off their knuckles here on these now men-at-arms. But Hera's going to have to pull away. This is a lot of idle damage. If Viper can block with the scout as well, he could kill some of these villagers. Hera's going to fight. He's going to kill a man-at-arm. But Viper's now blocking with the scout, and a villager does go down for Hera. There's another weak villager in here for Hera. Oh, get out of there. Hera blocks with the scout. That's so good for Hera. There are very few players that don't lose that villager right there, but Hera is one of them. So that is still decent for Viper. He killed a villager. Gets a poke with the spearmen, that's nice. But Hera's spearmen are better than Viper's right now, thanks to forging. Also, now that Hera is able to come back out here onto food, the scout production should be decent. That's why infantry is garbage in this game? Kind of, yeah. There is definitely some reasons. These are nice hits on Hera's scouts, actually, with the spearmen. That's valuable. But yeah, there's a reason infantry is definitely the worst of the, well, of any of the unit types. Ooh, almost another nice poke there for Viper. Viper's also out here. If Hera shows up with his scouts, and he is showing up with his scouts, well, one of these scouts is weak, so Viper should be able to fight that one off at least. But now that Hera knows this is out here, he's definitely going to be circling around with any additional scouts he makes. Armor coming in for Viper. He's already got forging, so the Bulgarians do spend less food on their blacksmith upgrades, I think is the bonus. So he's able to get these upgrades a little bit easier. So Viper is taking full advantage of every single bonus the Bulgarians can possibly have in this matchup. Blacksmith being added in for Hera. It's a lot of spearmen here for both. We're about to have a good old-fashioned poke-off. Hera is trying to take the hill. He's probably also checking and noticing that Viper has full upgrades on these things. He's actually going to get the infantry armor before the cavalry armor. Interesting. Viper going for a tower up here. It's only one spearman though, so if Hera's scouts show up, it could still be a little bit awkward for Viper. Hera's trying to wait for the armor to come in. Now he's going to take this fight. And here we go. I poke you, you poke me back. The villager is going to get involved. There's also a scout in here from Viper, but I don't know if the scout really wants this smoke. It feels like in a full spearman battle, the scout is maybe not the biggest swing you can have. So Hera's going to fight that off for now. Ooh, this could be really bad for Viper. The scouts arrive, Magyar scouts. There's no tower on this side for Viper. The spearmen are back here, but one villager goes down. Now it's Viper's turn to have to fight with the villagers. Okay. Scouts are still circling around back here for Viper, not finding anywhere to do damage yet, though maybe if they can get it on a wood line, they could find a snipe. Hera's coming in with the spears. Here we go. I don't think he wants to take this. Well, maybe with the scouts mixed in there. He's got a lot of weak spears, though, is the thing, right? So I think Hera gets washed here if he actually tries to take a fight. Okay, scouts are actually evenly upgraded now between the two players. Hera has to run away with his spears. Wheelbarrow on the way for Viper as he's housed. Hera is angling his way up towards Castle Age. Okay. And Viper is still producing spearmen. There's 13 spears on the field for Viper, and he still has 3 in the queue. Just full spearman war here. Imagine if Hera could have added in archers. Imagine the value, like, 2 archers would have in this fight. It's actually insane. Oh, now it's Viper's scouts arriving on Hera's fish here. So Hera's going to have to fight with the Vills. He actually might be able to fight this off. He probably should lose at least a villager. Ooh, maybe not. Yeah, he loses a villager. Oh, maybe 2. Nice micro there by Viper. He's not going to take another one, though. But 2 villagers down is not too bad. Spearmen still posturing against one another at the front. Hera is going to click up to the Castle Age, but Viper's right behind him. Look at how even this game is. Both players click up. Viper waits for this last villager. And he's just going to be about 15 seconds behind. Hera is massing up scouts. There are 2 spearmen over here now. Archery range being added in for Hera. Cav archers would go pretty hard here, I'm not gonna lie. Cav archers would go really hard here. I don't know if Hera can get into that or not, but they would go very hard. It looks like that is what he's going into. He's getting bloodlines. His scouts are also coming in, but don't worry, Viper has 19 spearmen, so no matter where Hera is, there will be spearmen there. Nice quick walls around this gold for Viper. Might have to do the same on this wood line. I say that they're everywhere, but this is actually the one place that there aren't spearmen, so that's going to be a dead villager. And Hera's just going to take the fight against the spearmen, but Viper gets the walls up while that fight is happening. That's actually huge. Well, it's huge, but also he can't take wood anymore. Okay, he's going to re-wall up and he's fine. Marketplace behind for Hera. Has he met? It's still just the one range. Oh no, sorry, he is getting a second range up, so he's going to be able to go double range cav archers here. Also, his scouts get iron casting for free, so they're even more dangerous. Definitely won't be finding a good fight here, where all these spearmen still are for Viper. Pikemen on the way for both. Oh, not like that. Okay, Hera sees it. It's fine. Knights on the way for Viper. Monastery behind for Hera. Magyar Cav Archers, I'm pretty sure are really good here. But we'll have to see. Oh boy. Knights? I mean, yeah. What else can you possibly go into here as the Bulgarians? Maybe some, like, scorpions in defense once the cav archers start coming out, but... I mean, Bulgarian knights do a pretty good job once, like, stirrups and stuff are in. These pikes are going to have a difficult fight with the cav archers behind. I'm going to be honest. It's a real tough fight for these pikemen with the cav archers behind. Oh boy. Oh geez. A villager does go down for Hera at the front, but Viper loses all these pikemen. I don't think that's a good trade at all, is it? I don't think so. He lost a lot of pikemen there. I guess he was always going to lose the pikemen anyway. There's no real way to keep them alive. Scouts are still in here on Viper's base, and there are a lot of villagers walking around here for Viper. Does Hera see it? I don't think he saw those villagers. I don't think he saw it. Viper throwing? This is definitely not a throw. I don't think Viper was ahead in this game. I don't think Viper was ahead yet in this game. Although that's true. He's not going Krepos, right? So that's the throw. Maybe he is going Krepos. He's getting a TC up on this stone. Don't count him out just yet. He is getting on this stone. You definitely want a castle for your unique tech. But you could start with Krepos to deal with the cav archers, right? Villagers going down, pikemen going down. Hera hasn't been able to afford even Bodkin, though, so these cav archers are really not the best you've ever seen. I mean, the food eco is really bad for Hera. It's gotta be said, it's really bad for Hera. I think he even lost these villagers up here to the knights. I think that's what happened. So it's just these farms right now for Hera. He hasn't been able to take these or anything. He's getting another TC up on the stone. And the cav archers, I mean, I guess Viper doesn't have the second armor either, but feels like the cav archers are not taking a great engagement here versus the knights. Viper deletes that scout, so it isn't converted. Hera getting his eco sorted a little bit back here. Under the protection of the TCs. Scouts. Coming back in. If Viper doesn't notice these scouts at any point, it's a really big deal. Because they do a lot of damage. Okay, I don't know what this villager is doing for Viper. But he has a villager back here. And now this villager is not going to be back here anymore. Okay. Krepos. Krepos up here on the fish. Another TC here for Viper. Monastery now. Knights coming in, but two of them get converted. And you don't want to sit there anymore. I guess they do snipe the monks, but that's not too bad for Hera at the end of the day. Scouts run into some pikes. Now they're going to run into the Krepost. Monastery completes for Viper. Oh boy, actually kind of stressful. This is more stressful than I thought it would be with the Bulgarians, but Viper's playing him pretty good. He's got a Conic out there. Well, he's got a Conic in here, I guess I should say. 5 TC for Viper. He absolutely cannot produce out of all of these town centers, but he's got them. Horse Collar coming in for Hera. That's a lot of farms for both of these players without Horse Collar, actually. That's a kind of a big deal. Hera's eco is looking pretty good, though. I would really like to see Bodkin. I think he has to have forgotten he doesn't have that. Because I feel like you're clicking Bodkin here if you know you don't have it, right? University. Okay. Okay. Well, the Magyars simply feel better as the game goes on. Now, Viper does have a couple of power spikes left. Stirrups is a great tech. He does have good siege, so if you can mix in like scorpions or mangonels or something, that might be pretty decent down the stretch here. But Imperial Age on the way for Hera. Imperial Age on the way for Hera. And Viper doesn't even know what Imperial Age is yet. His civilization is still like, hasn't figured out exactly what that means. But he does have 700 stone in the bank. So he can get a castle up, he can get a couple Kreposts up. He's going forward with some cav. Dream is gone. It's looking worse, for sure. That Dream is fading into the background real fast here as Hera gets Bodkin now. Probably going to swing Thumb Ring pretty soon. He's getting another TC up in the back. He still is only on 2 ranges. So maybe another range wouldn't be amiss for Hera. Needs ballistics too, I suppose. Maybe that's the next thing he's saving up for. But I like what do Bulgarians do if the Magyars ever fully tech into these cav archers? It feels like everything they have is just bad. I mean, unless he can pull off some disgusting scorpion play, I guess. That might be the only counter he has to the cav archer mass is scorpions. Here we go. Here's another Krepost. He's going to start creeping along the gold in the middle with Kreposts. If he can deny the gold to Hera, I guess that feels okay. Thumb Ring coming in, though. Ballistics is probably going to be coming in pretty soon. The Conics are dismounting. Some of them are being converted, though. And the leftover cavalry from Hera, the converted cavalry, is trying to dive on the siege. Bracer, ballistics. Does Viper get this Krepost up? Is the question. I think he does. He has just enough siege back there that Krepost does go up. Hera is buying himself a castle back here as another Krepost is being dropped. So Viper is indeed Krepost rushing. It's just not much of a rush per se. It's more like a Krepost like... I don't even know. Like a Krepost... what would be the opposite of a rush? A Krepost creep? Krepost crawl? Something like that maybe. Feels a little bit more apt. Viper doesn't really have military on the field anymore. It's worth noting Viper is down 10 to 32 military, and he's still in the castle age, which is usually not a good combination. These two conics have to find the most value you've ever seen in your life from two conics. Here we go. He needs to kill like 30 villagers right here. Okay, he kills one. He needs to kill 29 more. Okay, one conic goes down. Okay, the other conic goes down, but don't worry, they just get back up again. Okay, they're both dead. 11 conics have 12 conics have been masked behind, but Trebs are coming out here for Hera. Chemistry coming in. He's still missing Parthian. He's still missing armor, and he's still missing whatever the unique tech is called. And here are the Cav Archers. Now, the good thing for Viper is that he's got TCs everywhere back here. He's on 6 town center. So there's not too many places for Hera to hit, but this is one place for Hera to hit. And a couple vills go down. Conics getting in some good damage here, though. There's no armor on these Cav Archers, so if Hera doesn't micro at all, this is actually a good engagement for Viper. Hera is focused on this stuff. He's trying to quick wall in the conics in the back while he's not microing at the front. Oh. But the Kreposts are going to go down for Viper. There's another Krepost here, and it's finding more villager kills. Viper has the eco lead for now. Ooh, boy, you gotta be real careful back here, though. Real careful. Going to be a castle up here for Hera. Okay, interesting. Not where I would have anticipated a castle going. Whoops. Tabbing into the wrong scene back here. Hera being a little nerd back here with his Cav Archers. And this is the issue, right? The only thing the Bulgarians really have that feel great against these Cav Archers are siege, and the siege can't chase the Cav Archers around. Oh, trap though. Big trap. Beautiful trap from Viper. And pretty much all these Cav Archers go down. That was really nice. But the Kreposts continue to be trebbed down. Viper is back here with some villagers. I guess these were the Krepost villagers. Now they're making stables in the back of Hera's eco. Hera dropping the most defensive castle you've ever seen, but it's actually going to be really good once these raids start to come in from over here. They're going to keep a lot of this eco back here safe, right? Treb at the front now can start taking down the Kreposts over here. Hera's teching into Hussar eventually. Bulgarian Imp, here we go. What do the Bulgarians get in Imp? They get Bracer if they want to go skirms against these Cav Archers. They get Heavy Scorpion, I guess. If they ever want to go Siege Onager, they can go Siege Onager in Imp. These conics are still kind of doing the business. Hera forgot that these two units stand back up, so he just moved on with his army. I guess he wanted to get over here. Viper actually sniped down the Treb up here, but the Krepost went down. So these villagers are no longer safe. Treb's rolling in on the other side. Hera still doesn't know about this, as the light cav are being banked up there. Bulgarians, okay, they do get Hussar, I guess, if they want to go that way. Heavy cav archer coming in for Hera. I forgot about that upgrade. That was another one I was forgetting that Hera was missing. How in the world does Viper ever stop this push, though? I guess Hera doesn't have cav archers over here, so this infantry can kind of just push this back right now. What are we doing, Hera? He's gonna have to pack up his trebuchets and try and roll away, because all of his cav archers are over here. This push is still happening up here, though. Hera's gonna lose at least one of these trebuchets. Okay, Viper's an imp. Here we go. Capped ram. He's getting the last armor for his infantry. He's getting Haboob. It's still just full cav archer from Hera, though, so Haboob's not going to really do anything against that. I guess he is teching into Hussar, so the Haboob will feel good for that. Light cav are running in. But they're running in against castles that already have, like, ballistics and everything, right? And another castle here from Hera. Look at all of the castles from Hera. That's crazy. That's absolutely wild. All the castles just all around his eco. So no matter where Viper tries to run in from, he's having to run past a castle or two. Here we go. This is it. It's going to be siege ram push with Haboobs inside. There is recurve bow for the cav archers, so he's just missing the armor now, including Parthian. And these are fully upgraded Magyar cav archers. Okay, the Haboob have to jump out and deal with the Hussar, which are trying to run in to snipe the rams. Well, if Hera is right-clicking on those rams, then the Haboobs are going to do pretty good damage against the CA, but, yep, that's over now. He's still got one. He's still got one siege ram in a dream. He's got another one coming out. Viper doesn't want to give up. It's the last game of the set if he gives up, right? So he's not gonna GG until he is fully dead, but we're approaching a situation here where I don't see a way back into this game for Viper. The Hussar spam is coming in for Hera. There's Parthian tactics. The Hussar are sniping down these rams. This is all Viper has. He's only got these rams. Bracer is in for Viper. I don't even know what Bracer is for. He's got no castles or crepos left. He's got no skirms. Guard tower coming in for Hera. He's also getting that last armor. As long as if Hera doesn't just go AFK for the next like 30 seconds and lose his entire army for free, then I struggle to find a way back into this for Viper. He is trying to raid. Here comes another ram. Here we go. The ram's coming in hot. This home is gone. Whoever lives in this house is out of luck. Oh, they saved the house. Never mind. They actually saved the house. No one goes homeless here today. Treb's working on the monastery, but GG, well played, congrats, says Viper, and Hera wins Warlords 3, and it was the expected outcome, but Viper made him work for it, we've got to say, right? 5-3 is not an easy win for Hera. Viper, especially early on, it was looking pretty good for Viper, but thanks to everyone for being here with me throughout this. Thank you to Mem for hosting a great tournament. Really, really good, competitive, fun tournament. And GG's to Hera for the big win. GG's to Viper for playing a great tournament. GG's to Sebastian for playing great as well. Really looking forward to what he looks like going forward and the good things that's going to mean for this game.